What's up, everyone? We are live for another episode of Who Are They? Spin from the Real. And once again, I am Matt. Joining me, as always, is the personality himself, Chris Anthony Lopez.
Ooh, yeah.
Also, Shug. And of course, I finally put the hashtag there, but Chris takes it away.
Oh, no.
Also, Shug. Also, like, I'm just some random person on here.
Here, Shug, let me reintroduce
Shug. We got Shug.
Let me reintroduce Shug. So, joining us today on the program, per usual, the father, our godfather of Spin from the Real, the former knight, Mr. Shug. Mr. Shug. What's up?
I've never been in. What's up? What's going on, Chris? How you doing today? What's up, Matt?
The Hispanic night.
Right. Definitely Hispanic night. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Then we don't have to hear any of this or see any faces like this, because Shug doesn't have to dance it.
Yeah, shout out to Zach Burkett, friend of the program.
The homie.
We love Zach. And
how you doing, Dagan?
Dagan, what's good?
What's up, Brandon?
Dagan,
No, not a bro tank, just a normal tank.
Yeah, my man out here wearing a beater.
What's up,
Corey?
We had an 80-degree day here in Cleveland, and those don't happen a lot. So it was a hot mug today.
My man wearing a beater. If I would have known, I would have worn a beater. We could have had like a beater show. we could have been that after show.
Wait. Can you repeat what you just said? What show?
Wait a minute. Wait, are we talking about the same thing, Shug? Are we talking about that?
No.
That?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Wait a minute. Yo, who my man in the chat?
Chris Hall goes, what?
Yo, what's up, Chris Hall? What's good? We love another Chris over here. Yo, but my man Dragon in the chat, Bateman haters Matson's Friday. There are a lot of people that are hating. A lot of folks hating. And it's gonna be a whole ordeal.
Sir, how you doing, sir?
Look,
Ryan.
if
What's up, Ryan?
you really want to get into it,
let's just be honest. This first hour is probably just going to be match recaps. Maybe even less than an hour, because we only had 3 matches.
Thank God.
It's few and far between that we had 3 matches. But Grace and Christian put a lot on the social media this past week. No, because Christian did it on Twitter. That's why I said that. Grace and Christian.
Who do you think told them?
Anyways, we're gonna have a lot to talk about in regards to the future of the league, and we're probably gonna debate that for a while. And
good evening, spinsters. Yeah, man. I'm not looking forward to talking about factions because we haven't spoke of it. We haven't talked about it at all. So we saved the conversation.
I got some thoughts. I got some thoughts
too.
Oh geez, here we go. But no, let's talk those matches first, and then we can bicker at each other for the last hour of the show or however long.
Oh, are you talking about what we do? Are you talking about what we normally do?
Right. Yeah. So a typical episode of Spin from the Real.
A typical episode of Spin from the Real.
The show never changes.
Shout out to Taylor right there, the homie.
Dragon says you guys from Puerto Rico. No. Shug is Puerto Rican. I'm from Ohio. Chris is from Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're 2/3 Latino over here at Spin from the Real. So that's definitely something.
We're not 2/3.
2 out of the 3 of us are Latino. What are you talking about,
bruh? We have 1 black person on this show, 1.5 Latinos, and half a white person.
The show into freaking
6. It's 6.
What you say? What you call me? we need to cool it. But to answer your question, Dragon in the chat, no, we may not be from Puerto Rico, but we have a lot of representation over here. We have a lot of representation.
I'm from Torrance, California. Okay,
that's what's up. That's what's up. We're all about the HMD over here from the 219. But let's talk some schmo. That's what we're here for, right? We're here for some schmo down.
And let's be honest. This first match probably gonna go by quick because Zach Harper. Excuse me.
Who? Zach Harper?
Thomas Harper.
Thomas Harper. Zach Harper.
Yo, okay. Zach Harper.
Thomas Harper is just straight up a machine. Still hasn't missed a question. Real quick, Chris Hall and Corey. That's right. OHIO. Let's go.
Oh, we out here. Some. What do they call you out there in Ohio?
Buckeyes. We're Buckeyes.
We out here some Buckeyes. Word. I was talking about Swenson's earlier on Twitter. Like
Chris had that once and it haunts him.
I had it twice. I had Swenson's twice, and I haven't looked back.
Oh yeah, it was twice because we did stop on the way back, didn't we?
Right. Yeah, damn right we did. I remember. But no, Thomas Harper and Eric Whiteley happened last week. That was the Patreon.
ASG, Zach Marie Harper. Yep.
Jeez, man, that's one terrifying person. But no, we had those. Now I got them three folks in my head. Thomas Harper seems like the guy to beat right now in Star Wars from Dagan. That seems like the vibe, right?
It seems like the vibe, but can we say that because we've had one guy take down the guy to be in Star Wars twice in the last month.
Right. And I mean, in my opinion, there's I've been saying this for weeks, and I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face.
See, I don't rock with the Houday. I'm from Cleveland, bro.
Well, that's cool. It's cool. But I think that Star Wars is everyone's beatable now. Everyone's been beat. Alex Damon's human. So let's keep that in mind going forward. Now, yes, these Dragon Con folks are coming into the league. We love them over here. We've had them all on their show more than once, and we love them. We love them and their gameplay. But no one is untouchable. But if we're getting close, Thomas Harper seems like he's the most viable option. But Demolanta, man, even with that second match against Damon, he missed some questions. Yeah, but we're talking about a guy who pitched the perfect game not too long ago. So. Like, I think that...
See, Dagan, here's where I'll push back on this real quick.
And for our audio listeners, Dagan says, too early to say maybe, but just basing it off of the fact that he hasn't missed a question yet.
Real quick, he also hasn't played a 5-round match yet. And in the last 2 5-round matches, Demolante's missed one question.
Demolante's, no, he hasn't. He missed 2
He missed 2 in the first round.
I forgot. Yeah, 2 in the first. I was thinking about the one in the fourth. I was thinking about the one in the speed round. Yeah, but he's missed 3 questions in the last 2 matches, and they were both 5-rounders. We don't know how Thomas Harper is going to last in a 5-round match right now.
Sure, and that conversation's been had for many a player in the Schmodown before, so that's definitely we're treading water with that conversation. I know we had the same conversation in regards to Adam Collins, right, before we saw what he can do in a 5-round match. Which
and you know what? And I got to talk about a stat that I heard from ASG. We'll talk about that when we talk about that later. But
okay.
There's a crazy stat that you will not believe about Adam Collins. But continue. You're talking about Thomas Harper and how great he is. And yeah, I do think we need to pump the brakes as far as naming him the next Adam. Naming him the next Adam Collins, the next Alex Damon. Andrew Demolanta. But let's be honest. You're gonna play for the moment right now, and Thomas Harper looks freaking good.
Yeah,
he looks really good. He looks like a vet of the Schmodown. You can't take that away from him. Don't tell me he doesn't look like it, because he's doing things that other people who've been in the league don't do. He's keeping track of his JTEs. He's writing the answers down for second and third round answers, and even though he doesn't have to write them down, he's still writing them down. He's writing as the questions being told to him to write down context clues. I heard ASG say this. ASG said, I don't understand why people don't do that. If you're listening to a question, write down the context clues so then you can get get the answer quicker from the back of the head to the front of your mind. And he's doing that. And so Thomas Harper right now deserves all the praise. Is he the next Alex Damon? Is he the next Adam Collins? Is he the next Andrew Demolanta? Let's just wait and see. This is a big tournament. He has a pretty big match coming up against whoever wins between Sean Sullivan and Ace Cabrera. And let me tell you, if it's Ace, Harper has a lot of respect for Ace. Ace ain't gonna go down like that. And even Sean has something to prove. Sean is 0-3 in Star. He's 1-3 in Star. 1-3 in Star Wars. Just making sure I was counting right. He has a lot to prove. So these are not just give me matches. They're not. And so Thomas Harper is not looking forward. I know we all do that. We all assume like, oh yeah, you're gonna beat him. Right. He's not doing that. So give him his respect right now. He's a top competitor. But don't take away that how great he's playing, because he's playing amazing. He's playing absolutely amazing, and
he's playing out of his mind. No one's going to take.
Yeah, he is. He's playing. Yeah, he's playing out of his mind. So Sullivan is 1-2. Okay, sorry, I thought he was 1-3.
My best friend Leo Logan in the chat. Thank you, Leo. Thank you.
But yeah, like Jesse says, Harper has the best shot. Absolutely, Harper, because Harper looks. But don't sleep on Zach. Don't sleep on Zach. Don't sleep on Marie. Don't sleep on Gold Eater.
We'll see that match today.
We're going to see that match. Yeah, we're going to see that match.
Surprisingly, that match has not been sent to patrons yet. So that's.
I heard they did, but they messed it up.
They had editing issues.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm chewing on graham crackers right now.
Well, you chewing on what?
I thought you were about to say chewing on grass. I was like, huh?
That's definitely not what I heard. But to piggyback off of your point, Shug, I said this on I said this, and this may have been someone else that I got this from, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But I think the era of dominant reigns is done. I think the Patriots team run, the Alex Damon Star Wars runs, things like those are done. Not because like, oh, there's no one that good anymore. No, because everybody's that good. Everybody's really damn good. Even, especially in Star Wars. We just saw that with Alex Damon. My man lost twice in 30-some days. So let's also keep that in mind after a 3.5-year dominant reign that will go down in the upper echelons of movie trivia history. Same thing for the Patriots. People out here talking like, oh, these super teams are going to go on great runs. No one's going to touch the Patriots because the league is different from what it was before. And I know we'll talk about teams in a little bit. And yes, Taylor, click in the chat. I cannot wait to watch Taylor's match.
Does Taylor even watch the Schmodown? He's just an agent. Why is he like? I don't even think he watches the Schmodown. Stop, Taylor. Just stop.
One of these days we'll have to have Taylor on the show. Taylor come on the show to represent him and his client.
I like Taylor. He has a
great.
A great horror podcast that I love to watch every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Look at them cute boys. Them cute boys host Really Scared. But I think that the dominant reign of a champion is done. We will never see that ever again. A guy or gal hold the belt for a very long time.
It's gonna be hard.
It will be very difficult.
I think the only person that can do it is Dan Murrell, to be honest with you.
Probably.
If there's anyone, I would put my money on Dan. If I had to place some money on stuff, I'd put it on Dan as well. But even then, like, Dan's human. Dan's proved that he's human. And with people like Collins, like Oyama's waiting in the wings for that damn title shot. And Oyama's nothing to play with. So Taylor, click in the chat. I watched the good matches, so I watched Gold Leader's Word. Respect. So Makuga versus the Flirt and Flouse in the Star Wars final. I wait, what? Did I miss something?
Right.
I mean, I'd watch the hell out of that for obvious reasons. And Dagan in the chat, Marie and Zach are both good players. My bold prediction to make the finals on the left side of the bracket is Gold Leader, which it's a good.
A lot of people. It's a good pick. A lot of people have them. I personally believe. I think Marie's going to come out on top. I don't know. Obviously, we didn't get to see the match today.
We'll get to the predictions a little bit later. Yeah. Both of them, they're going to put up one hell of a fight. And Cal in the chat, damn right, Dan. Damn, Dan. Someone I'm telling you, man. If someone's going to do it, it's going to be the guy who I given the nickname Damn. Because Dan has made me question what I think about movie trivia literally every time he's played. So if anyone can do it, it's Dan. But even then, I think the competition in singles is way too damn good. And look at these teams matches that we're seeing, right? There's a bunch of quality people in this thing that are obviously really good at singles as well. And again, we'll get to that when we get there. But in regards to Thomas Harper, this man looks really, really good. Yep. And you can't. But at the same time, you can say this, like Whiteley, to talk about Whiteley for a second, let my man sink his teeth into some movie trivia showdown, and he'll be really damn good.
He's shown he belongs. I'll give him that.
Yes.
He hasn't shown he can win yet, but he's shown he at least belongs here.
Damn right. I know.
And I'm okay with that.
And I know other shows, speaking of, where people like Frenchie, no diss, Frenchie, I love you. What I'm dissing at the same time. We're quick to throw people into let's send them to the FCL. No, that's not what that's
for.
The FCL should not be viewed as a demotion. That's not what that is. It's like, let's send them to NXT. No, because NXT is sometimes better than the stuff we're getting on the wrestling main roster. Let's also pump the brakes. And FCL's doing some great stuff right now, so that's not a demotion. So just because people are losing doesn't mean they're doing bad. Wiley's Exhibit A. He had two kick-ass opponents. Digging in the chat, a recent update from Discord from the Patreon match. They found another error and have to re-export and re-upload again. So we're not seeing that thing for a minute. We'll probably be done with the show by the time they see it.
Yep.
So
it's probably not gonna happen until tomorrow.
Maybe
late tonight, early tomorrow. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, I'm not staying up late. I'm tired, man.
Right.
I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired. But with Whiteley, he had two tough opponents. John Hoey was none to play with, and neither is Thomas Harper. My man I don't know who my man pissed off. I don't know if he got under Grace's skin before he came into the league. Maybe the blind wave stuff bit him in the butt. But the second he gets an opportunity to shine, I think he would do really, really well. And look at Adam Witt, right? He's 0-4 in Star Wars, but he's out here putting up damn near close to perfect games. Just look at his competition. Just because you're losing doesn't mean you're bad. Just because you're losing does not mean you're bad.
Yeah. You look at the competition and look at the Star Wars competition right now is legitimately probably the strongest of all the Schmodown. You know, you could play Intergeekdom, you could play singles, and you could and we can all admit there's some people you go, they're not the best player, or they may be not the most gifted. Mm-hmm. That's Star Wars up and down. They can all play. They can all win the title, and they can all go perfect. They can lose by one point, one question. So yeah, they are. Star Wars is probably the deepest, and I love. That's why. And people got on me last year when I said Star Wars was one of the best divisions. I said it was the deepest.
It was the division last year. Star Wars was the division,
and a lot of people try to come and shit on me about it, talking crap, and I said okay, whatever. But
it's coming from somebody who I'm a Star Wars convertee, dude. Like Matt and I have had this conversation multiple times
since we started this show. That has been a large conversation.
And then that tournament happened, and I did a whole 180 on it because look at the level of competition that happened. That tournament made stars. Without that tournament, who knows where Laura Kelly is right where she is right now? Who knows? It's in that star.
Ace, look at Ace.
Look at Ace. It made stars last year because not only the gameplay was great. But we haven't seen Scrimshaw since, and we're jonesing for some Joseph Scrimshaw over here.
Yes, sir.
So there are a lot of folks that they are really damn good at Star Wars, and we're seeing some of them right now. And Eric Whiteley is still really damn good. It's just Thomas Harper he's excelling at a level.
He's a monster. He is actually what we expected him to be.
Right.
When we heard who he was and finally got to meet him in the pre-draft process, that is who talking to him. You're like, that's who he's going to be. This if he was anything but what he is right now, I'm not gonna lie, I might have been a little bit disappointed. But he's got this, like he brought up the Undertaker when we had him on. He's got that type of aura to him where
damn right.
It's.
Mm-hmm. I think we would all have been disappointed because we thought he could be so good because of how well he was spoken, how well he see and
how he carried himself.
See how he carried himself and to see how he plays now. I confessed my love for the man when I first met him. I'll confess it again. The guy is amazing, and I am super excited to have him in the league. And Jesse Swift, you still haven't given me a price that I have to donate to be in your wedding. I've been waiting for that. So
my man's on a few streams now. He can throw you a price. But digging in the chat, what do y'all think of Harper's strategy with the whiteboard? It's next level.
It really is.
People are going to start doing it, and we're going to cite Thomas Harper because of it. How much?
It's so common sense of why you wouldn't do it, but people don't do it. And like I said, I heard ASG say this. Like he keeps track of his JTEs. And I said it. What I loved was he writes it down the question as he's hearing the question for context clues. I think that's so damn smart.
That's next level, dude. No one else.
Because as you're hearing the question, you're writing it down, and it gets you. It gets you thinking about the question and gets you in that frame of mind. So I think that's so smart to do. And people are going to come.
Brandon Buck, I'm glad you can acknowledge it.
Buck, if you can tell us what that take was, if you feel comfortable doing so.
He thought Harper was going to flop, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Buck is usually wrong when it comes to sports and stuff. I know this. But yeah, I heard it. I mean, but you don't know. Let's be honest. You don't know how a person's going to come in. We all thought, and remember, a lot of competitors thought this. All these Dragon Gauntlet people are coming in, and they don't know their slowdown. Yeah, and they were getting really scoffed at. And Gold Leader, let's be honest, Gold Leader was one that got scoffed at. And so
they're living up to it.
And now a lot of people
how they're living up to it.
Yeah, and Jesse just told me the bad news. They're capped at 25 guests.
What about the after party? After party ain't capped at 25. Am I right?
But here's the thing, Chris. What Jesse doesn't know is all I got to do is go to the venue, act like I'm working, and sneak in, and there you go.
You know what? And I'll go with you. We'll slide.
There we go. They'll never suspect.
They'll never know.
Hispanics.
But,
In the kitchen.
No. But, yeah, you work the kitchen, or you try to work for the flower people. You'll be fine.
I could do. I know how to do security, so I can act like
all the bases are going to be covered. We'll be fine.
We'll be good.
Yeah, Jesse. So we're going to volunteer at your wedding. But going back to Schmodown for a second, the stuff with Star Wars this year, and I want to address Chris Hall's comment for a second. It's different how he writes and thinks everything out. We've seen competitors write things on the board during round 2 before. That's not like revolutionary by any means, but how Harper goes about it, and he does it for the entire game, and how he goes about it, especially within round 1, or within round 2 with context clues, like what Shug was saying. He's out here playing next level Schmodown, and Thomas Harper, when it's all said and done, I don't want to get that far ahead, but how we play the game may be changed because of that one minute detail. Like, that's all it takes. And the second we're going to start seeing everybody with now I'm going to start writing down things from the questions. And where we're going to cite that from? Thomas Harper, because obviously it's successful for him so far. He's had 2 killer performances, and whoever he plays next, presumably, spoiler alert, ace on my end, how I think that match is going to go. Then I
literally thought you just spoiled it, right? I was gonna be like, "What the hell, Chris?"
Oh no, man, I don't know. How would I know?
I know you got connections.
Ace, man. You want right word, right? So I believe that Harper's that match is gonna say a lot. And if Sullivan beats Ace, then all right, then let's not diss Sully anymore. Jesse Swift in the chat, Shug, you haven't been flicking a reel. That's a crime that I am guilty of. You need to be.
Yeah, I work Saturday mornings. I'll get on there, Jess. I want to come and hang out with you. I love watching your show.
Real quick,
when you guys are talking.
Taylor Cleek, I heard Shug's an ordained minister, though.
Are you?
Corey Cameron, I'll be the photographer.
Everybody's showing up. It's gonna be a bunch of.
My real question is that why didn't Jesse just I know he did the big crowd fund of a Jason stream where he raised a bunch of money for his wedding, which it was almost $2,000 because his community's awesome. But what Jesse should have done, was ask us to actually work the damn thing and save money that way.
Yeah,
that's what he should have did. I don't know where he would have posted. We could
do you need a videographer? Me and Nick Whitlock can come and take care of that.
Right. If Shug's the minister, I'm a flower girl by trade, so it's a whole thing. But Star Wars is where the money's at right now, and I know we've almost spent half an hour on this, but that's how awesome this division is. And Thomas Harper's playing that damn good. Eric Wiley's still playing really well, just not up to task with what Star Wars is doing. Look at Demolanta, Damon 1 and 2 as Exhibit A and B. So
look at Demolanta. But Chris, look at Demolanta. He's a perfect example. He was 0-2. They didn't give him a chance.
Right.
They crapped all over this guy. Oh, you're never going to be a champion. And he went through that tournament, and he lost, and he lost in the finals. And look, you cannot sit here and take with Demolanta away. He's beaten Alex Damon twice. So to sit there and say Whiteley should be in the FCL or he shouldn't be in the league, no, he's got to go. You got to go through the storm. You're going to win some and lose some, and once you get through that and you get on a roll, things change. Things change, and that's what I think. I think people need to calm down when it comes to when someone loses or teams lose. Oh, they should be splitting up. Oh, they're not that good as we thought they were. No, it's Eric Whiteley's first year. Calm down.
Right.
It's other people's second year.
These are rookies.
Yeah. And if Thomas Harper loses, we're putting all this pressure or we're putting all this praise to him. If he loses, it's his first.
Right. What happens when he loses? Relax. What happens when Harper loses? How about that?
Shit. We got Kid and Play in the house. Let's go. It's okay, you guys. We want perfection in the Schmodown. We're not always going to get it. We're going to get some ugly matches. We're going to get some cool matches. We're gonna get so many things. Just relax. And who I would want to see, well, Demolanta is going to be Kelly, so it's going to be Demolanta. I love Dem, and I'm a Demolanta shill. But Thomas Harper's taking that ass.
Look, wait a minute.
When Thomas Harper gets to Demolanta, it's done.
So here, I will say this.
I'm going to be happy that Demolanta won 3 matches. After that, he's done.
I will say this. I think Demolanta will win. I want Laura Kelly to win because I'm a swag shill, and I'd like to see Winston make a nice jump in the standings.
Yeah,
sure.
However, I think Demolanta's going to win, and like Suge, I think Thomas Harper's going to take that ass.
But now for audio listeners,
and
the
I love
question from Ryan
Demolanta.
Christensen, the question was if Thomas wins the tournament, who do you rather see him face? Demolanta, the current champion, or Kelly, who he'll face at Collision? Now, personally, I like to see him face Demolanta because Demolanta, to me, right now, is the guy to beat in Star Wars. Yeah. Belt aside. Look, like just that he beat Damon. I don't know. Gold Leader could have been the one to beat Damon, non-title match. And I would have said Gold Leader's the person to beat because he one-upped Damon, and Demolanta did it twice.
Well, also here, adding on to that is the fact that because he beat Damon, it's a matter of if you want Thomas to prove that he's the top, you want him to beat the best. That just I agree with you. You want him to beat Demolanta because Demolanta de facto after back-to-back wins against arguably the greatest Star Wars player of all time.
You can ask Demolanta. He'll say Alex is the best Star Wars player of all time, and that's coming from the guy who just beat him twice.
But he'll say that he beat him.
Yeah,
that's what I love about
him. As he should, though.
Yeah, and he absolutely should say that. But like I said, I love Demolanta. I will champion for this band any day of the week. But Thomas Harper taking that ass when he gets through this tournament. That's all.
To address Corey Cameron's comment, you're right though. The community will overreact when Harper loses his first match, just like when Parker did. Yes, facts, baby, facts.
I don't. Did Parker have 2 wins before his first loss? I can't remember.
No, he had the one. He had the one win again. No, he had 2 wins. He had 2 wins. He had Ace, and then he beat Ben Goddard,
and then he lost his chance. The guy who inevitably won the tournament.
Yeah. Now look at. I will tell you this about Parker. I did not know who Parker was coming into last year from the fan leagues. All I knew was I heard he was great. I was one person that said, don't overhype Parker because when he falls, you're all going to be mad. And I love Parker. I think this year he's going to be one of the IG guys, players, competitors to be challenging Mara for the belt. Ooh. But I said, don't overhype him because what's going to happen is when he does lose, it's going to be bad. And look what happened. As soon as he lost, man, everybody shitted on him. Right. And everybody turned on it. And they turned on him
so quick.
Like, good Lord.
You would have thought the Flash just changed clothes.
And
they turned on him so quick.
And the fact that we had to wait, that his season ended there and we got to marinate in it for so long. Or even going into this season, we're like, Kaiser picked up Parker with this third free agent pick. Oh my god! And I'm not saying we said that. Probably did, but who knows?
We weren't shocked. I remember you and I said we weren't shocked.
Say that one more time.
I just saw my internet starting to act buggy.
Say it one more time.
I said I know you and I didn't because you and I were talking. We weren't shocked.
I mean, that's his golden boy. Kaiser has a lot of faith in him, and for the longest time, Kaiser's like, "Yo, Parker's the real deal. Parker's the real deal. He's gonna be the one challenging Smets." And but the season panned out the way it did, and we didn't get to see Parker for the rest of the year. But now here we are. But if Harper loses to Ace or Sullivan, right, and like what Corey says. If he loses in this tournament, if he goes on the Collins-like run, it'll be different. Of course, the discourse would be different. But say he loses to Ace, I feel like people are going to be like, oh, man, what a bust. What a bust. Yeah. There's always that pocket. There's always that pocket. That's
stupid. Look, I'm going to tell you right now what I love about the Schmodown more than anything. You could be the best player. You could know all the knowledge. But if you can't answer your 5-pointer, you sometimes don't win. And there's a stat out there. ASG told me a stat about Adam Collins. I love Adam Collins, but there's a stat about him in 5-pointers. There's also, we saw it in teams, and we'll get to that match. You can't answer your 5. You can play great. You can play the greatest game.
He no longer looks. You're the real Ferris. It's coming down to that. You're the real.
Ferris has a full beard. What are you talking about?
I had to shed my skin and be who I really want to be,
and not just Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris, I've been imitating you for too long. I think it's time to move on. We're breaking up. So, no, but to address this whole thing, right? It goes back full circle. Anybody's beatable.
Anyone Look at ASG's comment's pretty funny. Actually, that's
true. Will say we slept on Ace again. If he loses to Sullivan, the world will explode. Yes, yes, yeah. Yep. And we'll come on this show and we'll just sit here in silence for 15 minutes. But it goes back to the discourse of everyone is beatable. Every single person has a loss on their record, sans some rookies. But everyone is beatable. Everybody. No one's untouchable. Dan's human. Damon's human. Insert your favorite team. Insert your favorite dominant team. They're human as well. They've lost matches. Look at the teams matches this year. And I'm maybe not to segue into that, but look at the teams matches. Any of those teams could have won this whole damn tournament. Let's be honest. Any one of those teams could have. It's just some wheel spins, certain misses. That is what miss or not playing the game as well as they should have. And like the whole lightning time, them not utilizing their JTE. And again, don't want to get too far ahead, but we saw what happens. Everyone is human, and that's what the party's at. And Star Wars is no different. We saw it with Damon twice. He lost twice. Thomas Harper, he may be where the money's at. He's probably your best bet to end this year champ, but who knows? Anyone's beatable.
You don't know. You don't know.
He might lose. He might lose to whoever's on the left side. He might lose to whoever comes out the left side.
What if goal leader Marie or Zach beat him?
Right. Like, who knows?
And at that point, I would say you can't even call that a big defeat because Marie and Zach, at least as we know, have beat him before in Dragon Con. Right. So it wouldn't be an upset. In my head, all three of those players are even. Gold leaders don't have a question mark about, but I'll spoil my pick. If he beats Marie, I have him beating Marie.
If he beats Marie and he beats Burkett and gold leader beats Harper, then it's like, all right, cool. Like,
he's
undefeated. He'd be undefeated.
Yeah, like, but he was also an unknown. Nobody knew about him.
Right, unless you were playing Unless you're playing some black market Star Wars trivia, you had no idea who nobody
knew it. Nobody, yeah, exactly. And so, but then you look at it the other way. What if Marie wins it? You know, what if Zach wins it? Like I said, I agree with Matt. They're all on the same. I believe they're all on the same level. I think Thomas's personality more is higher because I think he can outsmart you in this game from what I've seen.
Oh. Gameplay
wise, I think you can also. I don't know if Marie or Zach are there yet because they're so new. But for me, it's like Thomas Harper's been playing for the last 5 years. Like you're like, wait a minute, he's a rookie in the
and it's the advantage because Harper's gotten to play 2 matches yet. We can't say the same about Marie nor Zach. Gold leader, I think, is the only person that can match him personality wise at the moment. Because yes, goal leader already had this established character going into the Schmodown, but the Finstock Exchange has amplified that by 10.
Oh yeah.
So I think I would like to see Harper versus goal leader straight up. It's in the dossier. Everything's in the dossier. We're in the dossier.
Yeah, so I have so many mixed feelings. Like I would love to see Marie win the whole tournament. I'd love to see Zach because I'm a big fan of Zach.
For multiple reasons, I like to see anyone who's left. Yeah. I would lose my mind. I would love to see the Facebook group or the subreddit lose their shit if Sullivan makes his way into the final and wins.
Oh God!
I love to see Gold Leader win and then have to play Damon and be such a heel toward. Or sorry, not Damon, Demolanta, and be such a heel toward Demolanta that would Demolanta kind of revert back to being that real
like sudden death post challenge. Damon Demolanta won, where Demolanta's like, I'm not playing around anymore.
Yeah, like I would. There's so many things in my life. You know, I want to see Harper win, but I want to see Marie win. I want to see Zach win. I'd love to see. Could you imagine if Zach won? I mean, that would probably be my second tier.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, like Zach is my second pick for this tournament. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about how sweet of a guy he is and how genuine he is. That's like outside of Thomas, man, I'm rooting for you. Like,
there's a lot of great personalities, and obviously, like Star Wars is. There's a lot of fresh faces in this. Yes, there's a bunch of fresh faces, and we all want to see them succeed, but some people have to lose. That's the nature of the game. Some folks have to lose. And before we move on to this tag matches, we're on Streamlabs. If you want to support the channel, support the show, go ahead, streamlabs.com/whoarethe-podcast. You don't have to. Obviously, the show's going to remain the same. We're not going to focus the show around the Streamlabs. It is a WAP Boy summer. Thank you, Nick Molbach.
But we got to be able. But we got to be able to buy Chris more White Claw for his White Boy Summer.
Yes, it's a White Boy Summer with my White Claws. Streamlabs.com. Streamlabs.com/Who Are They Podcasts. Please, if you would like, donate. You don't have to.
Go again.
You don't have to. But if you want to,
I love that picture.
Zach Burkett. Again, we may be some Zach Burkett chills over here at Spin for the Real solely because of that. On top of everything else, that picture does it in itself. But and Nick Molbach, I see you, Watt Claw. That's what I'm drinking right now. Watt Claw for my wife. I
mean, I got a story about Chris and some White Claw, but I'll save it.
No, you should not say it out loud.
If we get $50 in donations by the end of the show, I will share that story.
I'll chug some White Claw on a Monday.
Chris, I cannot wait for you to come to LA. We're gonna be
a matter of time, baby.
Claw, Coronas,
Modelo.
We're gonna
tequila. It just gets progressively more Latino as it goes.
I'm just sitting over here like I'm enjoying my water.
Yeah, you gotta drive us.
We're gonna be eating some pan dulce in the back, like
go to the taco truck at 4 a.m.
Just pay for my tacos and I'm good.
Don't trip. I know all the spots. Don't trip.
Done.
I got you. And then Jesse Swift's gonna be in the back. What? We're gonna go eat tacos. What?
Jesse Swift's there too.
Jesse's gonna be there. Yeah, Zach is a meme. Zach
Burkett is a meme, but a good meme in all the best ways. Let's talk some teams.
Yes.
Let's talk some teams matches because both of them were awfully polarizing for different reasons. At least on my end, if I may say so myself.
Okay.
Can I start this with Lightning Time and Rushmore?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, okay. With Lightning Time and Rushmore, we talked about this on the show last week, and I made sure to emphasize that any of these 4 teams could have won the whole tournament. Facts, no print. In regards to Lightning Time, watching this match, I don't want to say I was frustrated but I was bothered because the wheel did not go in their way. Obviously, Suge's favorite wheel slice, opponent's choice, played a factor into this match. Mm-hmm. Who the hell knows what would have happened if they got any other slice besides classics? But that's what they got, and they were TKO'd because they missed their 5 off of one Ben Affleck appearance in the Kevin Smith movie. Now, my only issue with them missing, obviously the questions are subjective. They're going to be different for everybody. But Lightning Time had 1 JTE and didn't use it, so they can reevaluate and collect themselves because they were rushing. You saw that they were rushing to get all these movies down, and they were there at 6. It's just they missed Clerks 2. And again, who knows if they would have gotten it? Who the hell knows if they've used that JTE and they get the question? Who knows? But they didn't use the JTE. Sam did remind them that they had it. They just didn't use it. And here we are. But the story of the match is still Rushmore. And Rushmore, I'm not about to say that they are Rushmore. That's a whole other conversation for a whole different day. But the team of JTE and John Roca has proven to be almost flawless in this team's tournament so far. Yeah, they played 2 matches, but they're pretty damn good at what they do. Rushmore against the winner of Danger Zone Deception, Lord. And obviously, we got that match too, but I don't want to get too far ahead. Not Danger Zone. Rushmore may be the favorite to win this thing. And it's coming from a guy who obviously not a Finstock Exchange shill.
That would be me.
To the chagrin of some folks here and in the chat. But I will give credit where credit's due. Holy hell, Rushmore. My God. They still played really, really, really well. Even if Lightning Time got their 5. Here we are. Here, Rushmore still would have had to answer some questions, and they probably would have beaten them, depending on the question. How they were playing, it's hard to beat Rushmore right now. It's really hard to.
I just want to say, Rushmore got the Exchange 3 favorite letters. TKO, baby, TKO, and it's a beautiful thing. Just see the Finstock Exchange continuously shut everyone's mouth. Everyone was talking trash after the draft, and now look at them, securely in second place. Rookies performing at a high level. Rushmore killing it, going to the freaking final. Come on. You can't hate. You can't be mad at that.
I know people are going to hate, and I know earlier in the show we're talking about Ben Bateman haters. I think the Finstock Exchange has gotten way too much flack for what they've done this season. And again, I'm not trying to be the
damn right, Con. I like that.
What's up, King? We're waiting for King Khan to spin for the real his kingdom. One of these days, hopefully.
He did at our hangout.
And our hangout, I'm waiting for Spin for the Real proper. Spin for the Real proper. Yes. I need my man on the show. But the Finstock Exchange, when are we going to stop the hate? Like, when's that going to stop? I know it's fun, and I know we're all picking our factions, and we all like certain people, certain things, whatever. But yo, the Finstock Exchange has 6 TKOs this year. Like,
2 losses. Best record, best overall record too.
When are we going to stop the hate? Like, and again, I don't want to be an exchange shill because I'm not, but I will give credit where credit's due.
That's right, Dagan.
Like, seriously, I know it's fun to hate on the Finstock Exchange, but it's not even valid. When was it valid? Like, there was a bunch of uncertainty to start the year. Sure.
There was a bunch of uncertainty, and look, you got to give credit where credit's due. JTE is not the player we thought we were going to get.
Hell no.
He may be the best player on the exchange. I'm going to be flat out honest.
I would take JTE over Roka right now in a match.
I love Roka. You know I'm a big Roka fan.
We love John Roka over here.
I would take JTE over Roka right now.
So okay, 2 out of the 3 of us love John Roka over here.
No, I like John Roka.
He likes John Roka. But I would take JTE over Roka right now in a match. I would. JTE is the best player on Rushmore, and I will second your point on the exchange. Like, yo, look what he's doing.
Yeah, but you gotta give credit to JTE because this is not the player we thought we were gonna get, and he's looked amazing.
He's proven doubters wrong. He is. Yeah, all of us were like,
I was a big doubter. I'm not gonna lie, I was a big
doubter. Too. We were
just like, JTE, really?
And then also too, Roka is what he said was right. Hey, gave me Snyder
or JTE, and we'd do the same thing.
If they beat Danger Zone and then they go and win the team's title.
Now,
let's be fair. Even if they lose to Danger Zone, it'll probably be a close match because Danger Zone's played well too. Let's not. This is going to be a premier match.
The one thing that Rushmore has on their opponents is better chemistry and camaraderie with one another. Yeah. That's one thing that's inarguable in my opinion. But JTE is proving literally everybody wrong. I would love someone to step up and say, when JTE was taken as the 3rd free agency pick, where they were like, he's going to be a killer. I would love to see that person step up because they're not on screen right now. I would say that, like, yo, when Matt and I had Spin from the Real after we found out the free agency picks, we're like, yo, what? JTE? Really? And now here he is. And we're over here like, yo, JTE, like, on some real shit. Digging in the chat, I think people still won't be giving the exchange the credit they deserve, even if they win the faction title. Yes. Because it's fun to hate the exchange. It's fun to hate on them, whatever.
Realistically, it's people loving to hate on Gucci. That's what it is. It's
right.
The Gucci of it all.
He's the face of the whole thing. Say what you want about Craig being the puppeteer or Oz behind the curtain, but yo, Finstock is the face behind this. So all the hate and all the love is gonna go to Gucci. Digging in the chat, JT's on fire this season, and Roka looks like he's having the most fun he's ever had playing the Schmodown. Right. My man's out here smiling this shit. Roka's a bum. Brandon Buckingham, 2021 on May 17th. Let the record show. Brandon said that. So
at 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, and at 7:47 Central Standard Time and 5:47 Pacific Time.
Yep. There we go. Covered all our time zones.
Yes.
Besides Mountain Time. Mountain Time is the only one we missed.
Yeah, that's 6:47
Mountain Time even exist? Mountain Time doesn't even exist.
Mountain Time. I was in Mountain Time not too long. I have buddies in Mountain Time. Is it Buck? No, Buck's Pacific. Buck goes between Pacific and
Buck's out. Yeah.
He goes back and forth. He goes back and forth.
Word. Either way, we got our base.
But when I get Buck in California, he's
that's
gonna be
Pacific.
Yep, and he's gonna be screaming because he's getting his soul sucked. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Yes, of course, because we're watching Mortal Kombat again, right, Shug?
Right, exactly.
As of today, you can no longer watch that movie on HBO Max. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a bummer. What a fun movie, internet.
It's a great movie.
But besides the point, Rushmore obviously is a talking point in this match. No hate to Lightning Time, but I forget who said it earlier in the chat that I second that point. Ryan again with a great point. Ethan and Liz are great singles players. Don't seem to have the team chemistry needed to be a great team. And on paper, you would think they'd be so compatible because they're buddies. And Liz has gone on after shows saying, "Yo, like Ethan used to take me to tapings."
Yeah,
so of course they have a camaraderie.
I get what Ryan's saying, but this is their second match together. You can't say that. You can't just throw that out there and be like, "Oh, well, they're not good together because they have no." They've only played. Now, here's the problem: you got teams like Danger Zone, you got Rushmore, who
look at the level of competition as well.
But what I'm saying is, you're playing the teams like Rushmore and Danger Zone have only been together as long as Lightning Time, and they're playing incredible. It just sometimes that happens. Sometimes some people need longer. Sometimes people, get it right away. They just click. And right now, Lightning Time isn't clicking. But I think if you give them time, I think this is one of the things that I'm getting annoyed with the Schmodown with. You lost. Oh, you shouldn't be in the Schmodown, or you guys need to split apart or something.
Ooh, don't even get me started on that, boy.
Relax.
I think the only time I bring that up is if it's a team that's had a long-standing team and it's multiple losses. But
even with that caveat,
real quick, Dagan, no one cares about Mountain Time.
Wait, okay. But even with your point, Matt, about a string of losses, look at Adam Witt. My man is 0-4 in one division. But no one's calling for his departure.
No, my point is I said a string of underwhelming losses. Underperformances. That's what I'm talking about.
The level of play definitely plays a part. I think Liz and Ethan together with Lightning Time, they have a ton of potential. Leo Logan said it earlier in the chat. They have a ton of potential. They are still a top tier team on paper. Let's not get it twisted. Them beating the Outsiders was one hell of a W. Because, the Outsiders on paper are also really damn good. The team of Ben Goddard and Paul Preston, put them against I would love to see them against any of these other teams and see how that match goes. Because, they're really damn good too. And I will stand by that being the best match of the first round. Probably still the best match we've seen. Probably. There's some great ones since then. But Lightning Time, give them time and they'll be all right. But Rushmore is where the party's at. I think they are favorited against Danger Zone, whose match we can chat about for a little bit now. Can I guess ASG's stat?
Yeah.
So I think what you're about to tell me from ASG is that Adam Collins has not answered a 5.
He's lost every time he's missed a 5. No,
I believe from what ASG told me the stat was, and I just want to make sure I get it right. I believe it's 1-4.
Yeah, because he won the title, and every other time he's lost.
But he didn't answer his 5 in the 5-pointer. He missed it.
He missed the 5.
No, that's my point. I'm saying the 1-4, the one win is when he won the title because he missed his 5.
How many 5s has he answered?
No. He's only answered. I believe he's only answered 1 5, which I think was the singles tournament.
Yeah.
See, and I know
if I'm getting it right. ASG will probably correct me.
Yeah. Or Leo.
He hit it against Liz. Okay, so he hit it against Liz.
Thank you. So I believe with first Danger Zone. They won. Great. It was another great performance by Dan Murrell and Ben Bateman.
Killing it.
Obviously, they're a really great team together. And what else do we expect? It's another super team of sorts. I hate that word now. I become so desensitized to that word. It's super team. It bothers me. It's like my tick, right? Every time I hear it, I just want to But Ben Bateman and Dan Murrell, two of the best singles players right now. Yes, Shug. That includes Ben Bateman on a team together.
Don't say that to me like that.
This is working really, really well. Them beating Deception's a great win.
isn't working really well because let me tell you something. That movie was released second round wasn't good looking.
Have they won both of their matches, Shug? Have they won both of their matches?
What's great about the Schmodown is you have to answer the 5-pointer. If it wasn't for the 5-pointer, deception wins. Get the hell out of here with that shit, Chris.
And you're telling the deception chill that, Shug. Who are you telling? Who are you telling? I had such a conflict of interest. I didn't want to watch
but you're more of a Ben Bateman chill.
Don't speak for me. If there's anything I dislike more, is that when people speak on my behalf. I don't like that. I have a voice. It's loud as hell too. I can definitely speak for myself.
We know.
Good. I'm glad you know. That's how many times you piss me off. So
it squeaks a little bit when you get a little angry.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm totally aware. That's my charm. It's a squeak when my voice gets high pitched. But with Bateman and Merle, obviously they're really good as a team together. Deception, contrary to the match that we were just talking about. Deception is the talking point of this match, in my opinion. Marisol had her coming out party in this match. If people didn't already believe in Marisol McKee, this is it. This is it. Jesse, stop it. Stop, Jesse. Look. That's definitely his rap name, and only his rap name, right, Jesse?
Bateman raps?
Yes. It's on his new album. Go stream. Sorry for tonight.
Look at if Rushmore wants to beat Bateman. Call me. I'll play him in Magic, beat him again, and then he'll go on a losing streak.
Yo, man.
I'm playing Bateman. You know the homie.
But Marisol McKee was the best player that played in that match on Friday.
And she almost got to that 5-pointer. Had they had one more repeat, I think they would have got there. Because she was on it. Because I was watching the match with ASG, and he goes, they're not going to get to it. Because they're not on, it's born, and they said no, it's not born, and she went back to it. And once she got back to it, she got there, but she needed to go to Legacy, not Ultimatum. I think if they had one more repeat, she would have got there, and they would have won that match. I truly believe that.
Dagan, funny you're saying that because she's got a match that can lead to the number one contender match this Friday.
Yeah, Logan, I know they used the last 2 repeats. I'm saying if they had one more.
If they had
they had one more repeat, I think she would have got there.
Marisol is the best player that played in that match on Friday. I will stand by that. Not even just because we had her on the show recently. Just look at her play and look what Marisol is doing right now. Marisol is absolutely tearing apart the Schmodown right now. And when she faces Janine on Friday, sorry, I don't see this being any different.
It's about to here. This is what's going to happen when Marisol plays Janine.
He's about to get his soul sucked.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Yes. We can't have anything nice. We can't have anything nice.
Yes, where's Buck?
No, we're getting too out of hand with that with Mortal Kombat. That's super fun movie. But no, Marisol and Adam, more so Marisol, were the talking points of that match on Friday. She is playing like a future champion, and as far as I'm concerned, she may be the person to beat going to Dan. Like, I know she has to face off against Janine, and if she wins that, she faces Kevin Smith. But damn, she's just on fire right now. Jeffrey Thomas, Just Up King. I thought I was going to call that TKO graphic. Yo, I didn't even think that. I was ready for Zach Burkett face, if I'm being honest. But Deception is I love Deception a ton. I picked them winning this match, but thank you, Bateman, for the points in fantasy. I'm just.
How's your fantasy team doing, by the way?
My players aren't playing.
Making a recovery because they've been playing lately?
Yes. Oh my God. I went through April, nobody played on my team. So I'm still lacking. I'm looking for some quality W's. I need to drop some folks because they haven't played a little bit. Digging in the chat, Marisol looked great last year, but even better this season. She really upped her gameplay to another level. Yes. Yes. Marisol's like she's A tier right now, brother. Like if she wasn't before, she definitely is now. But Danger Zone. Like, what else did we expect? What else did we expect of a team like this? And that 5 sunk them. A 5 sunk them and just happened to be oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. Not the movie, but you know what I mean. So that team's final between Danger Zone and Rushmore, holy hell. Is that this week?
No, that is the undercard for the match next Friday.
Ooh.
Double teams match. We get Danger Zone versus Rushmore, and then we have the spectacular rematch of Shazam versus the
Couple.
Yes, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, that to be one hell of a show too. That to be two great matches, two killer matches.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss the first one live at least.
Right, but we'll
you'll keep me updated when I get into the
I'll keep you in the loop. We'll see how the night goes if I'm not just emotionally exhausted. So this team's tournament is, to me, it's living up to the hype. Mm-hmm. We've seen some great performances out of the teams we expected, and we also had some surprises like midterms. So I think that
Danger Zone versus Rushmore is not Thursday. I'm looking at the website right now.
Wait a minute. Con in the chat. Rushmore Danger Zone is this Friday. Winner plays Corruption in the undercard next week.
Oh no!
And that's Leo. And Dagan pay-per-view this week. It's the night before my birthday. Happy early birthday, Dagan.
Ooh. Happy, yeah. It is. All right, yeah.
SpaghettiOs. That's gonna be one. I'm not prepared for that emotional roller coaster.
Nope.
But nope. It's low key. Is it who misses? It's who misses first, right? Right. It's who misses first. At least that's the vibe. But I don't want to get into predictions now. Obviously, we end our shows with that. But that team's match.
Do you want to break our normal strength, our normal thing, and just do them now, or do the wheel slice now and do that? Because we know we're gonna get heated with this discussion. So I think we're probably better off going over predictions and whatnot now, and the wheel slice of the week now before getting in.
Do we have any final thoughts on these teams' matches? Shug, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I just think that Danger Zone, extremely lucky. They couldn't get around to it. That second round.
You said the L word? Oh my god!
I think that second round. I personally think that second round they got. I won't say they're lucky. I'll say that they played well enough, but that second round could have bit them in the ass.
Personally. Right. And Jesse Swift in chat wants some more rookie teams. So do I, dude. So
I agree. Real quick, we do have a Streamlab.
Sweet.
It is from the one and the only Dagan. Thank you, Dagan.
I love you, Dagan.
Do you all think Marisol could beat Dan Murrell for the title if it comes down to that?
We're gonna have this. Okay.
Shug, you go first.
Wow. What was that?
Jesus Christ. You know what? Here, I'll start. Can she? Yes. Yes, she can. Marisol is playing top tier Schmodown right now. She's playing better than her former singles champ teammate who has beaten Dan Murrell once before. So Marisol can easily, I shouldn't say easily, she can beat Dan Murrell. Will she? It's a conversation we'll have to have later. But she can beat Dan. Dan's human. Going back to my point earlier, anybody can beat anybody. Dan's human.
Any given Sunday,
or any given Friday, depends on the paper.
I was about to say, in this case, any given Friday, or Saturday, because that would probably be the spectacular match. No, excuse me, that's not the spectacular match. We know that's not.
Nah, it'd be.
It's the number one contender. It's Marisol or Janine versus Kevin Smith. Oh, screw it. We all think it's Marisol. It's Marisol versus Kevin Smith for the number one contender spot at Spectacular. That's
Collision?
what that. Excuse me, Collision. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired.
Holy hell!
I am.
Damn, dude, we're not even at June yet, and we're already talking about Spectacular. A shout out to Any Given Schmo Day.
Yep.
Dagan and Corey Cameron. But can we get more Beth May promos if she doesn't have a match? Yes, please. But yeah, Marisol can totally beat Dan. She can. I mean, she's playing like it. She's playing like she can beat Dan.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's any given day.
Any given Schmo Day, baby. Any given Schmo Day. But yeah, let's do our end of show stuff now. Then we'll talk about these damn factions.
Real quick, just want to bring up perfect week on my end. Perfect week. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Chris fell back in the standings. He got 1 out of 3 right last week, and Suge got 2 out of 1 right, or 2 out of 3 right. So
those teams matches were hard, man.
Those team matches were hard.
They were hard ones. So those 4 teams were absolutely killer. And I mean, the closer one was Danger Zone, Deception, and like what Suge was saying, Deception gets their 5. We're talking about a whole different outcome and a whole different everything with teams, but that's not the case. Those team matches were rough. They were really, really rough. But you know what? We got a whole new week, Schmodown. Whole new week, baby. But let's do wheel slice. Let's talk some wheel slices, baby.
Yeah, honestly, my wheel slice is opponent's choice. That was great. I mean, it honestly was just great.
Great for who? That's the thing. Like who are you talking about? No,
great.
Like
you know who I'm talking about. It's great for Rushmore.
The opponent's choice slice that's the one that rocked me the most. I was shitty. I was incredibly shitty when I was at the barbershop cutting off half of my afro, and I was watching the match before I got in the chair, and lightning time they spun their wheel, and it's opponent's choice, and I groan in the barbershop. I'm like, ugh, and I got people looking at me. I'm like, don't like don't talk to me right now. Don't talk to me, because I knew where the match was gonna go. And yeah, opponent's choice doesn't mean the kiss of death, but odds are it's the kiss of death. And when they missed Old Yeller, it was Old Yeller. When they missed Old Yeller, I'm like, okay, like this is how it's gonna go. And I was incredibly bummed out by opponent's choice going into classics. So yeah, it's hard not to pick opponent's choice. Suge, do you agree?
I was gonna go with the opponent's choice.
Per usual, brother. Stay on brand, Suge. Stay on brand.
I mean, it's how it is, man.
It sucks, and because I want these matches to be closer, like that Deception Danger Zone match. I want that to be the standard where the 5 must be answered to decide the winners, and that wasn't the case. Like they got to their 5, but Rushmore, I think they had to answer only 2 questions or get to 2 or 3, and they were done, and the match would have gone to Rushmore anyway. So who knows? But it really bummed me out because I don't like seeing opponent's choice and stuff like this and high stakes matches with great competitors and great teams. But that was real sucky, I guess. Soul sucky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now I got your attention. You're damn. I saw your eyebrows perk up, you asshole. But yo, Corey Cameron in the chat. Not really a wheel slice, but anything before 1960. Yes. odds are anything before 1960 is the Achilles heel for like 90% of the league. Like there are like a handful of folks that can do classics and really succeed. And we don't see them too often. They're real few far in between. Or Spike Lee if you're including FCL. Spike Lee is also the Achilles heel for FCL, dude. If
Spike Lee was a big thing in FCL last week. Yeah, that 5-pointer Nick Harley answered.
I was so proud of Nick.
Nick Harley, for someone who doesn't watch movies, he's really good at movie trivia. Yeah, shout out to Nick Harley.
Loved it. And yeah, me and Chris did not do the FCL last week. I have school and I'm doing with a lot, but we're gonna get back to it. Don't worry, we're gonna.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going. I know tomorrow they're deciding who's the second half of that title match. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow with the FCL. The second we find out that we're gonna do some more FCL stuff, we'll let everybody know either on this show or follow us down on our Twitters below. One more thing before we move on to predictions. Spin from the Reel is almost at 100 followers on Twitter. It'd mean a lot if you guys followed. If you already haven't, at Spin from the Reel on Twitter, go ahead and give us a follow. We're almost at 100. That'd mean a lot to us. Or if you want to support the channel or the show, go to streamlabs.com/whoaretheypodcast. It supports the whole channel. So whether you just watch Spin from the Reel or you watch Spin from the Reel and Wrestle Reel or Really Scared, Real Talk, any of the other fun programs you have going on in the coming months, weeks, streamlabs.com/whoaretheypodcast. You're helping all of us out in the process. So, yes, again, Nick Harley spoiled the attempted push with David Campbell. Really, he really did. David Campbell's going to get one hell of a push. He still might, but it'll take him a while to get back to the top. It'll take him a hot second, especially with the amount of FCL talent we haven't seen yet. There's so many folks we haven't seen SCL yet, or FCL. I'm waiting for Maxwell Haddad. The second he gets in, yes, I think
Maxwell's gonna kill it.
I think he's in a wreck shop, but we'll get there when we get there. Whenever he gets his match, let's do predictions so we can talk factions.
All right, first match of the week. Oh, this is a 5-weeker. Okay,
let's do it. All 5 matches, baby. Let's do it.
All right, we have Wednesday's match: Gold Leader versus Marie Wilson.
Got Marie.
All right, I was about to say should go first, but he no hesitation. All right,
what makes you pick Marie so quickly? Should, if I just may ask?
I'm a huge fan of hers. I just think that she's amazing, and I don't go with stats and everything. I just go with what I feel. So I love Marie.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
Leo Logan, you shut your mouth. No, it's fine.
Don't talk about my best friend. How dare you do my man like that?
I have Gold Leader.
Word. Jesus Christ.
This is a tough one for me, but I think Evan's got a lot to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder because everyone's talking about the Dragon Con players. So I think ultimately that's going to be what decides it.
Oh man, this is rough, dude. Because both these folks going into this thing 1-0 had impressive showings the first time around. By the way, Lacey Gillerin, congratulations!
Yes, congratulations.
Lacey. I know, like I have her. She's part of Homeboy and the Heartbreakers in the Schmoes in the North fantasy team. But like Taylor Click in the chat, I like gold. I do like the man formerly known as Evan Bushkar. I really like Gold Leader in this match. It's I hate to pick against Marie, but I got Gold Leader. I don't say that. I'm not proud of that pick. It's a hard choice.
Yeah, that's where it was for me because I love Marie. I loved when we've had Marie on. But Gold Leader. I like good.
God, I love those movies. Next Thursday.
Next is Thursday, and that is the team tournament final. Danger Zone versus Rushmore.
Oh my God.
Oh, and Chris, looking at this, Danger Zone is 2 words.
I told you.
I thought you said 1 word earlier.
No, I don't.
I'm tired, bro.
You don't listen to me, man. That's what it is.
All right, Chris, you're gonna start us off.
Oh my God. Look, guys. I got
pick against Bateman. Hurry up.
Just an FYI, they flipped Thursday, Friday matches. Thank you for that, Con. Thank you.
What's Thursday now?
Taylor Robinson and Greg Alba.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute.
I'll go with this. I'm picking Taylor Robinson.
Yes, Taylor Robinson.
Greg Alba.
He's picking just to be different.
No, because I think Greg Alba is
he's really good at Geekdom. He was slept on from last year's tournament. He played it really well. He beat Janine, right?
Yeah.
No, that was Humphrey.
Oh yeah.
Greg beat War. He KO'd Warfather.
He beat Warfather, right?
And he almost beat Kalinowski.
Right. Greg Alba's done the scoff at, but I think Taylor Robinson's been in the lab. Like when she's out there down under in the lab, in her thing, watching, listening to Inner Geekdom movies.
And it's nothing against it's nothing against Taylor. I just think Greg will just play better. It's gonna be a close match. I believe it's going to be a close match, but I just think Greg is going to play better.
See, I think Taylor is putting a lot more into it than Greg is. That's the thing. That's ultimately why I think she's going to come out on top. So,
yeah,
I just think
what else is going to come out on top? That shirt. If you don't put another one on.
Wait a minute. I also have Taylor. I just think she's been in the lab. You saw what Jacob London's doing. I believe I can't imagine their study techniques being too different, and I will take Taylor Robinson. But if Greg pulls out the W, I won't be surprised. He's really good at Inner Geekdom. Don't sleep on Greg Alba.
All right. Finstock Exchange sweeping this week.
Okay, Hagen.
Big
And
week.
that now brings us to Rushmore versus Danger Zone.
All right, back to
So
that.
back to Chris.
Back to me. Okay. So the team that wins this is obviously a really good team. I think that Danger Zone, like they're playing great. Rushmore, playing great.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
I think that this match is gonna be really good. It might go to sudden death. You know what, Dagan? I will go with my gut. My gut is telling me Rushmore. Now, I again, Ghost Stream. Sorry for tonight. Ben Bateman's debut single. It's really good. But damn it. I reserve the right to change my mind before the match on Friday.
Yeah, but
No!
your
No!
official pick.
Mhm.
This is your official pick.
I reserve the right to change my mind before the show ends.
No, you made your
Yes.
pick. You made your pick. You made your
Nope.
pick.
Nope.
These
I'm
are
picking
the
Danger Zone.
final
I'm picking
picks.
Danger Zone. Then I'm picking Danger Zone. Nope. I'm picking Rushmore.
And
You know what? Deception.
No.
Deception.
So Rushmore it is.
Rushmore. No.
All right.
Midterms.
Shug, who you
Shire
got?
Wolves. I got Shire Wolves.
Just
I got
because
Team Schmoes.
I'm Top Gun fan, I'll go with Danger Zone.
You know what? I agree with Shug.
You flip flop enough. You're stuck.
I got top 10. Team top 10.
All right, Danger Zone for Shug.
Damn it.
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
You know what? I got Team Champs.
Okay.
Damn it. Yeah, I got Patriots. Patriots retain.
I've never picked against the exchange once this season.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I've never picked against them once.
Uh-oh. Is it hard?
But I think the scary thing is I think Merle might be Roka's kryptonite.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah. I'll take Danger Zone. Fuck it.
Danger Zone. He used the F word. Let the record show.
Yeah, that's my one. How many of you?
I haven't said the F word.
No, I'm just talking about how many times I've had to stop you from cursing on this show.
Oh, hey, man, that's something you told me to do. Like I'm trying for you. But no, man, that match on Friday is gonna be absolutely killer. I still reserve the right to change my mind before the match ends. Before the match on Friday.
All three of us have our picks in. Those are the picks that are.
I don't know who died and made you king, but I reserve the right to change my mind.
All right, Shug.
I'll spin for the real on Twitter for my official pick on Friday.
Yeah, I think Merle might be Roka's kryptonite. I'll say it right now. All right. Moving on. We have the undercard. Marisol McKee versus Janine the Machine for Friday's live event.
Let's all say it together on 3. Wait a minute. What?
What?
What'd you say?
What?
What'd you call me?
All right.
I said Janine.
Janine what?
I just said the name. I wasn't
okay.
picking.
Okay.
All right. Well, on the count of 5, let's all just say who we're picking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marisol.
Yeah. She might be champ by the end of the summer.
Yep. This one wasn't a hard one to pick.
Yes, Marisol. I'm assuming y'all said it with us.
Yeah.
There might be a delay.
There's a slight delay.
I'll count it.
All right, and the last match. This is going to be an interesting one.
What's the
Mara Kanopik?
Damn it!
Versus Kalinowski.
Oh,
I will start this off by saying I'm going with the woman who smashed everyone's idea of what she was going to be like. And went perfect. Set the IG points record. If you're betting against Mara Kanopik, who's got the chip on her shoulder, to beat Mike Kalinowski for what he did to her before, you got another thing coming. It is Mara Kanopik's night, and the dungeon keeps taking this runaway lead in the faction standings.
Interesting. Go ahead, Chris.
all right. Mara Kanopik had one hell of a performance in February. She did. Obviously, she bested the team's record. Let's also not forget Chandra Dandapani. Chandra, waiting for your comeback too, brother. But Mike Kalinowski, man, I think Mike's gonna do some great things in this match, and this is their third time playing each other, right?
Yep, this is the third
You're
time.
1-1. Rubber match.
This will be a tight ass match, but it's gonna go to Mara.
That a boy, Chris. That a boy.
Damn it! I'm not proud of myself for go. I'm gonna go take Dagan's advice and go with my gut. If Mike wins, I will lose my damn mind. I'll come on the show again. I will apologize profusely to Mike Kalinowski, and it will be another vacation day.
Corey, I agree with you 110%. I don't want the dungeon to keep running away with it points. I think the point, honestly, and I'll get into this when we do the facts and stuff in just a moment. I think the point system needs to be adjusted. That's just me personally.
Ooh, won't happen this year.
Yeah, it won't happen this year, but yeah. So, all right, Suge, who you got?
Say Kalinowski to make me happy. Just so someone on the show picks Mike.
I love it when Mara's done. But I'm gonna go Kalinowski.
Thank you, Shook, for picking Mike. Thank you. Someone on the show needed to. If it wasn't gonna be you, it was gonna be me. Like I don't want people disrespecting Mike. And to address what you said, Matt, yes, Mara's playing great, but Mike Kalinowski is one of the best to ever do it. I will say that right now. I will say in confidence. Across all three divisions, Mike's one of the best characters and competitors in the whole damn league.
She's got the chip coming into this match. He doesn't. That's my opinion.
And
how does he not have a chip coming into this match?
Coming into this match, she's the one with the chip. No. Coming into this match, I believe she's the one with the chip on her shoulder because her last match before Chandru was her loss to Mike, and how sour of a taste, like everything that happened following that. That is why I believe she, in her mind, has more of a chip on her shoulder than Mike does coming into this.
But just because she has one doesn't mean Mike doesn't.
I didn't say Mike. I didn't say
that's what you implied. You didn't say shit. That's definitely not what you implied.
I said she has more of a chip on her shoulder.
And I will go off the first thing you said. You said Mara has a chip on her shoulder that she lost to Mike. So I'm going to address that before you change your mind again. So I'm going to tell you right now is that Mike Kalinowski, yes, I have Mara taking the match, but Mike is still one of the best Inner Geekdom players, in my opinion, the best to ever play in Inner Geekdom. Yes, Mara plays really, really well. So does Mike in Inner Geekdom. We just saw that against Alex Damon. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that. Mara for the win on Friday. If Mike wins, no one should be surprised. No one should be surprised. Just being frank.
That's your Chris.
I am Chris. Chris Frank-Thony Lopez. Hashtag Walkboy Summer.
Well, we've got our predictions out the way. We've done the wheel slice of the week. Let's get into the down and dirty because this is where it's all. So Christian and Grace went on the social medias this week and talked about the future of factions. And my oh my, there was some interesting ideas put out there. One of which being 16 factions of 5.
No.
One being 8 factions of 8. Another being 10 factions of 8. What was it? 9 factions of
every single combination of numbers was
you could
said.
possibly imagine.
Right. So the option of no factions was also brought up as well.
Which if we were to get, if I'm okay with that because I think that
going back to OG Schmoes.
Well, I say this because back in the OG days, you had managers who would manage multiple players, but there wouldn't be a faction. And then you got factions. Gucci started the lines, then you had your first real faction. But before that, you had players that weren't. We just happened to be managed by the same person. So,
and I will be the first person to say right now. Again, this is not an original thought. I bet someone else said it during that conversation. If they go back to no factions, no way in hell does one manager manage 5 other people. That's a faction, as far as I'm concerned. And that's exactly what happened last time. We had one person manage a few people. Oh, let's form a club, a 5 club. Like we've seen that before.
Mhm.
So let's not do that again. If factions are going to be obliterated, which I don't think they should, I'll put that out there now. I don't think they should. I like factions a lot, but there's no factions. One manager per person, and you can't repeat managers. For the sake of fairness, you got rid of factions hypothetically for a reason. It'd be dumb if you have Kaiser manage Parker Smets when he comes back.
Yeah, but that's not possible because then you need 97 managers.
Not everybody gets a manager. Not everybody needs a manager.
No, and I agree. Not everyone needs a manager. I'm just saying if you like you went back on mine, so like let me say this before you change your mind. You said every person gets a manager. So I ain't getting.
If they would like one, they get one, but they're not sharing a manager. That's not the case. But I don't think we should get rid of factions. To me, it's just a number. It goes down to a number. But that's just me. Shug, what are your initial thoughts on this?
All right, so I have talked to some competitors and everything like that. I have two takeaways from this, and I'll give you my idea of what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know it sucks. Some people are not being able to play, whether it's scheduling or whatever. Look, you have to. If it's a sport, you have to win. If you don't win, you don't play. Sorry to tell you, that's just how it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have heard competitors saying, they lost 2 matches, and it's now they don't probably get to play and for a while, and possibly not play in a tournament because their other teammates are playing good and they get to play in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have lost those matches.
Right.
Or you should have been like, hey, I'll play that division. I don't want to play this division because of this reason.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a scheduling factor, I understand that, but we obviously know it's digital right now, so I get people shouldn't have that big. Obviously, they're not getting paid a lot to do this, so I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Then don't commit to it. I know that's a dickish thing to say, but then don't commit to it. Commit to what you can. Don't commit to overcommit. Therefore, whatever. Because the complaint is there's so many people right now that they're not being able to play, and managers often have to play their good players or play people that are winning. So I understand that, but this is going to be a sport. You can't lower how many people should play.
Right.
Look
at it this way. We've seen life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
And instead of an injury like we have in real sports, life gets in the way. Now you have those people at the bottom of the roster who may have their attempt and their opportunity to get some play that they might not have had otherwise.
Yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, and I get it. People are gonna, but it is what it is. How I think they can fix this. I've been kind of sitting on this idea. Maybe someone else has said it, but this is how I think you should fix it. This is how you fix it. You can go to 10 managers. I want 10 factions. That's what I believe in. I think we should have 10.
I want 10 of 8. That's where I'm at. I want 10 of 8.
I'm fine with 10 of 10, but I'm fine with it. But this is how you're going to fix storyline, and you can fix people moving from faction to faction. You do the same thing as almost a draft. The player can, after you draft your team, a manager picks 4 players on that team. They're untouched. They cannot be touched unless, they just cannot be. They cannot be touched unless. Let me say this, and then I'll explain it. But they pick four players. You have your team of 10. You have your top 4 players. Let's say Marisol is unhappy with corruption, not getting enough playing time, wants to go to a den. She can now say, I am going to the den if they have a spot. Shannon can now say, okay, you're going to the den. Shannon now gets to pick 1 player other than those top 4 players out of the den to replace Marisol. Let's say the den says,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
I'm just trying to get an idea. So it's like keeper with trades if somebody wants to sign elsewhere.
There's no trade. Well, there could be trades if you want to trade. But I'm saying if Marisol just decides I don't want to play for Shannon anymore, and she wants to go play for Kate Mulligan, she goes to the den, but they have to have a spot open. Now Shannon gets to pick any of the players on that roster. So let's say in the beginning of the year, Mulligan goes Ben Goddard, Paul Preston, Riley, and what's the I forgot his name. That's on the Den. The older guy, Duralde, and he goes, "Those are my 4 players. We don't know anything about Thomas Harper yet." Mm-hmm. Marisol says, "I want to go to the Den." Shannon can now be like, "Okay, I'm taking Thomas Harper because he's not protected."
I see what you're saying.
You can trade your top
draft. It's after the draft.
But my point is, it's still almost like a trade at the end of the day, because if Marisol decides I want to sign with Kate, then Shannon's still getting Thomas Harper back. It's basically a trade. It's a signing trade.
The players have more say.
But now here's the thing, though. What happens if there is no Thomas Harper? What if she has to take a Mark Riley, or it might make it uneven. You know what I'm saying? There's a perfect example. Saul. She does. So let's say she goes Paul, Saul, Goddard, and Thomas Harper. Shannon wants Lacey Gillerin now.
Sure, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
So but this helps with it helps with storyline, because now a manager can talk to a player can talk to a manager, and be like, "Hey, you know what? I want to come play for you now." Okay, cool. You could still trade, but the trades we would have a trade cutoff. But this would help with storyline. Let's say Guy comes back out of nowhere, and Bateman's like, "I want to go play with Guy now." He could leave the dungeon and go play with Bateman or go play with Guy, and then the dungeon just gets any player they want. So it helps with storyline. It helps with staling, with people not being able. What happens if someone says, "You know what? I'm not getting playing time over here, but I can get playing time over there. I'll go over there."
And this is a 10 by 10 situation, right? 10
It could be, yeah, it could be. I haven't figured. There's some things like, what if there's a situation where one of your top 4 players wants to leave? Like, there would have to be a rule where you obviously, like, I'm giving up. If my top 4 player wants to leave, I need one of your top 4 players. I'm not gonna, give up a top 4 player.
Yeah, I agree with Corey. I get where you're going.
It is a little complicated.
It's overcomplicated.
That's the rule book complicated.
Yeah, but that's what the rule book for. But it just makes sense, because here's the thing that they're having trouble with: players getting play, storyline, and people. There's not a lot of like Christian basically has to make storylines out of nothing. This would solve that problem. And then also too, it would be treated more like a sport.
So
because in any sport, someone could just be like, "I want to trade." There's repercussions, but any sport out there right now, they can just be like, I don't want to play for you anymore. Look at Aaron Rodgers.
But that's other circumstances that the Schmodown doesn't have to deal with to a certain degree, and all this. Like there's other factors in a top tier sport that
you can mirror it without there being personal issues.
No, I'm not talking about the personal issues. I'm just talking about, like, there's the big money and the things like that. And
you can equate it to the Schmodown. That's what Shug was saying. Like, not and don't get me wrong. My pitch for this is Shug shell and keep what's currently going on. 10 factions, 10 players. You keep 4 at the end of the year or to start the season.
So here, I'll go over mine, because mine plays a little bit more into the fantasy sports side of things. I'm on because he's talked about I get where he's like, I can't get enough of these players in. That's why I think 10 factions, 8 players is probably 80 players is perfect. But ultimately, I think 5 free agent spots, 4 designated.
Whoa!
Hear me out. 4. 2 of them have to be used on singles players with the potential of them being a team. One has to be used on an IG player. One has to be used on a Star Wars player. And then you have a flex one that you can do whatever you please with.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
I think if that's say hypothetically tomorrow they announce that change for season 9, where it's exactly what you said. If I'm a manager, I'm pissed. Because now you're putting me in a creative chokehold where now I have to mimic every single person. Like, because every faction would be laid out the same going into the season.
Is it though? Because
yes,
now depending on who you get, it allows you to address your draft strategy better. That's the other side of it.
But the same thing can be said if someone doesn't take an intergicting player in their top 5 in your case. Like, that's the same thing can be said. So, like, for example, Coy with the Mercs, he took 3 singles players, 2 of them already a team, but then he took Kevin Smith. My man was lacking in literally the 2 geekiest divisions in the whole league. All right, so he went and drafted that. Now, what you're saying is that you want every faction to start off the same way, and then you go from there, depending on, man, I got a B-tier Star Wars player. Like, it's like, well, I think that takes the fun out of it, and that takes the strategy out of it as a manager. Like, if I'm John Kaiser and I want to take Bateman, Dan, and Robert, then it's like, all right, cool. Then I get to do the draft however I want, right? But if we're going by what you're saying, it's like, all right, I got to get my 2 singles players that could become a team. I got to get this, got to get this, got to get this. Like, yeah, it's more strategic at the jump, but everyone starts the same. And I like the intrigue of where everybody starts differently. It depends on the manager what they want.
This is me playing into the sports aspect side of things.
And it's more than sports. Like,
I know it's more than sports. I know it's more than sports. But at the end of the day, it is still a sport. And at the end of the day, certain leagues require you to have a certain number of a certain position on each team. That is a thing.
And let's also keep in mind that the Schmodown is not the NBA, it's not the NFL.
But here's the problem with that, Matt. Then players can decide where they want to go, and players can dictate where they go. So therefore, if you have 2-3 singles players that want to come play for you, then you're like Chris said, you're handcuffing yourself.
You're not,
because
that's what you are. That 5th spot is for. That 5th is a flex. You can use it on any other player. That's where the creative freedom comes in, because you could get 2 IG players. You can get 3 singles.
There's still creative freedom, but there's not as much as there was going into this season, how this season was played out.
I know what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
Having it be, they called it fantasy for a reason. Because they want all of y'all to start the same way. If we're on the fantasy team, we all need to start the same way.
I'm saying,
and that's why it's laid out that way. And that's how you want the Schmodown to play out.
I only compared it to fantasy sports because of the flex. Otherwise, I'm comparing it to a real sport. Let's get that straight. And
let's also take the word. Let's also stop using that sports word. Yes, the Schmodown's a sports, but it's sports entertainment.
We've had this conversation before.
It's sports entertainment.
It's sports entertainment, sure, but
you're just taking the sports part. It's bigger than the sports part.
Entertainment still plays into it because the matches are the entertainment. At the end of the day, we're talking about
the managers want to lay out their faction a certain way.
We are talking about the sport-specific side of things right now, which is roster building. That is the sport-specific side. That has nothing to do with entertainment. That is
if a manager wants to take all singles players, why are we stopping them from doing that? Why would we stop them?
Because here,
if I want to take all singles players, you're going to stop me from doing that?
Because it helps create better matches. If everyone's
for what? For who?
Every division. Because
what if I don't want to play Star Wars though? Hypothetically, what if I don't want to?
So you just want to throw away all the potential Star Wars points.
I'm just saying hypothetically.
I'm just saying with any manager, especially with Star Wars growing as it is right now, really throw away any of those Star Wars points. Now stop for a moment and let me finish this, because at the end of the day, when you have a setup like this, it's spreading the love. It's balancing the top of the league out. You're not having. We're getting closer matches for the most part because you have an idea of who they're. No, I said for the most part, because at the end of the day, all your top tier players in each of those divisions are all going to be set on a squad. So you should be expecting, especially in IG or Star Wars, more competitive and fair matches because you know who your top tier, who your number ones are for your faction. So then the focus after that is going after the number 2s. And filling it out, making sure you have solid pieces, solid backups. That's what this is. That's the idea. It's about balanced roster building.
Well, I don't understand. So where is the misbalance of the rosters right now? There is no misbalance.
I'm saying, for example, this is where it ties into.
Let him finish. Like he wants to finish.
This is where it ties into what I said earlier about it helps fix the point stuff. The point system, in my opinion, it needs a slight change because you had someone like Molly Damon and Mark Konopik land in the draft, and Laura Kelly, and they fell significantly because managers weren't sure when those matches were going to happen, and they're high-point matches, and people skipped over them because they wanted to get players who they thought would be playing sooner. And Sam Levine even said after the fact, I think it was on the Ultimate Showdown show, that he might have drafted differently. It was either them or a Call to Action show. If he had known how quickly Molly or Mara, or Molly was going to play because of how that point system worked, if she had won and gotten the number one contenders match points, he would have drafted differently. And I can understand that. But
that doesn't really make sense. But okay.
But because here, look at how the dungeon's points are. The dungeon is far and away running away with this shit because they ended up with Molly Damon. They ended up with they have all of these players who, at the end of the day, had all these high end matches to start off the season. All these
but we saw that. But we saw that last year, and what happened? Fishstock literally dropped.
But that's where I'm saying the points need to get fixed. They overcorrected a little bit too much because
I don't think they overcorrected at all. I think if you're taking all these number one contender matches and title matches as your draft picks, assuming that because I'm going to get points early, okay, and then comes the tournament. Whereas there's a possibility, Mara's not going to be in the tournament, so you're going to put Parker in the tournament. What happens if Parker gets knocked out in the first round? So let's say there's
that's my point. Those are both two A-tier IG players. Those are both two A-tier IG players that are on the same faction.
Okay,
other factions,
but doesn't benefit.
Other factions are lacking in IG.
But then they should have dropped.
And I agree, they should have. But if you that wouldn't have changed at all. But that wouldn't have changed at all. Right now, the only reason this discussion is being had is because he's looking for balance, and that's why I'm coming into this discussion with this mindset. He wants to find balance and have.
But hold up, that wouldn't have changed anything though last year for the dungeon because the dungeon had your two singles players and an ID player, and then they had the first.
Off of last year. I'm basing it off of this year because everything's changed. The points have changed completely. I'm basing it off of where we are right now. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not looking at last year right now. I am looking at how things are set up currently, and currently you have arguably two of the top three players in two divisions, all on one faction.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of the draft. That was free agency.
Mara Kanopic was the draft.
Yeah, but that was because they.
But here, what I'm proposing, Mara Kanopic doesn't end up on the dungeon most likely because there's now all these other factions.
How did she not end up on the dungeon when she's the number one?
I saw you perk up. You understand what I'm saying now?
No. I see what you're saying, but you'd still that doesn't stop Mara from not going to the dungeon.
Yeah, that doesn't stop.
Now the dungeon they have a slot for her. In your world that you just created, that's still 5
have a spot. They do have a spot for her, but she's one player. Are you more likely to go there, or are you more likely to be another team's 1A IG player?
She is the 1A IG player.
They're 1-1. Let's be honest.
She had a match already lined up.
Okay, but I don't understand how they wouldn't have picked her up anyway when they were. Are you talking about getting rid of the draft completely? Because if you're not talking about getting, if you're not talking about getting rid of the draft
after those 5, everyone else's draft. That's not after those 5.
Then they would have.
Everyone after.
But then they would have still. But then they would have still got Mara. Remember what happened is people got to choose. Players got to choose.
Players got to choose, and I know people reached out to Mara, and I won't tell you who my source is on air, but I know players reached out to Mara, and the only reason she ended up in the draft was because a certain deal was made.
Okay, that's just how it is. You can't.
Anything's possible, man.
That's just how it is. I just don't see.
You're taking into account what you know about this past draft and applying it to your hypothetical season 9 draft, which I mean I totally get it, but with what you're saying, I think it's still highly likely where teams are really unbalanced because you're allowing that guaranteed 5 slots guaranteed, and yeah, you can fit them into whatever division, but it doesn't stop teams from being super teams to start because we all know Christian was like, yo, the dungeon's obviously stacked to start. Look at the 3, and then you add Mara first pick in the draft. Of course. And I mean, Mara was one of the highly sought after picks. She's going to go top 2
That's what I'm saying. If we're having 10 factions, do you really think she's going to end up completely unsigned? Because then there's going to be like people.
Well,
are
in your world,
like,
she won't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But that won't stop her from going to a dungeon-esque team. That's what I'm saying.
Won't, but there are people who would find things a little bit fishy if a player like Mara Karnapik still ends up on like let's say this. Let's say she signed with the dungeon first. Their player loyalty plays into it. Player loyalty does play into it.
Yeah, it totally does.
So unless somebody can entice Robert Parker might fill up that 5th slot. Or would Kaiser feel like, and let's be honest, he probably wouldn't, would he feel like there's another need he needs to fill? And I understand that. But I still think for competitive balance, for the most part, look at how they did free agency. Each team had a 24-hour period. You can be like, all right, here's a 1-week period leading up to the draft of teams will now sign this type of player. Teams will now sign this type of player for the next week, and this type of player for the next week. And then that 4th and final week is when it's the free-for-all. Sign any player.
Yeah, but I don't like that because you're just all you're doing.
You just overcomplicated your own thing.
But then this is not a sport anymore because you're telling people where they can and can't go. If we're treating this as a sport, you should be allowed to go wherever team you want to go.
Players still get to go wherever they want to go. But yes, you can because at the end of the day, Shug, at the end of the day, I'm trying to explain it to you. You asked how, and I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
You won't even let him ask a question. Jesus.
He asked how, and I tried to answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, you're knocking out this one, the singles and teams division that first week. Players now, you have a week to negotiate with players. Players, just like in real sports, are gonna be like, okay, I plan on signing with you. Managers, it is now on them. They may have like 3 or 4 different deals set up and be like, okay, well, I got this player, but they don't want to play with them. I got these 2 I can pair together, and they're willing to play. This puts more on the managers. Same thing. The next week you're going into IG. All right. Let me put on my deals there for IG. What's the feedback I'm getting from players? Because now each week the perception of your team changes. Players.
That's fact, Corey.
But here's the problem with that. So here's the issue with what you're saying, Matt. If you're saying players can choose where they're going to go, so then all anybody has to do is say, if Kate Mulligan goes to them and say, "Hey, I want to pick you up," they're like, "No, I'm not going to play with you," and then they just wait for Kaiser. Then what have you done? You haven't done anything.
You can't avoid. Like, I know, Matt, you're trying to avoid.
That's just how it is.
But it's
I'm not trying to avoid.
Or you're trying to make it more balanced.
Yes, I'm trying to
you can't make it more balanced.
You can't.
It's up to the players. If the players want to make it balanced, then Ben would have went to the den. If he wanted it to be more balanced league, he didn't want it to be a more balanced league. If it's the same with Mara Kanopik. People could have signed Mara. Mara did not get signed because a backdoor deal was made. Oh, well, then you should have made that backdoor deal. Kate Mulligan should have talked to Mara and made that backdoor deal. I know what the deal you're talking about of why Mara went there, but I'm saying then you should have made a backdoor deal. That's just how it is. We know there's backdoor deals in the NFL. That's just how it is. So the only way it's going to be a balanced league is on the players. You can't change anything.
Here's what I'll say. I will know not many teams reached out to Mara during the free agency period. I know that for a fact. Not many teams reached out to her.
For the free agency picket.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
For the free agency period, when we did free agency,
like picking the three.
Because that deal had already been made. That deal I can tell you when that deal got made. That deal got made on a show. I know when that deal got made. Okay, that's why it was made like that. I could tell you when it got made.
All those at home, yes, I'm also out of the loop.
Okay, that deal was made and put together a long time. The deal for Marisol was done before draft. That deal was already set. That's what I'm saying. You can't balance anything without players actually trying to balance it, because people are going to want to play with certain people, certain managers, and they're going to be on one. That's just how it is. But if you're saying you have that week to pick an IG player. So if Kate goes to Merce or to Mara and says, "Hey, I want you as my IG player," she's like, "Nope, I don't want to be on your team." Then Koi goes to her and says, "Nope, I don't want to be on your team." Then this person goes, "Nope, I don't want to be on your team," and she just waits till Kaiser's able to get her. Then you're done. You don't change anything. I get what you're trying to do, but then you're taking choice out of it, and that just doesn't. It makes it fake.
Choice is still in there. Honestly,
it's not because then someone could a competitor just be like, I don't want to play for you.
I'm saying it's still the competitor's choice, but at the end of the day, when you have certain players accepted, the manager is going to have to decide out of the people who've accepted my offer, which way am I going to go? That's what I'm saying.
But if they've been able to talk people into come playing for them, then now you're just taking that ability to talk to so many players and get the players you want. You know what I'm saying? So if Kaiser was like, I want to talk to Ben Bateman, Dan Murrow, Mara, Parker, Molly, and these people, and now you're telling them, well, you can only talk to Dan Murrow, Ben Bateman, Parker, and then choose between these two. Well, then you're just not. Then they're just.
No, I'm saying
it's each week like,
each week is focused on one division leading up to it in this proposed situation. So, team/singles, that is one division. You're focusing on just talking to those players. Can players try to convince other players? Yes. Can players tell other players this is where I'm thinking, so on and so forth? Yes. I'm not trying to stop the super team, but I'm trying to at least make it to where other factions still have a shot. They still,
but that's their own brand problem.
It's almost like a contradiction.
It's the same. It's the same with the NBA. People cry that everyone wants to go to the Lakers or everybody wants to go to Boston. That's just how it is.
What Corey said.
I'm sorry. You'll enter once in a while. You'll get a decent Warriors team, or you'll get a built up Jazz team. But if top players want to go play for the Lakers, or top players want to go play for Boston or New York or the Nets, that's just how it is. You can't stop people from doing that. Then the other managers better do a better job. If you're telling me nobody contacted Mara to be on their team, that's on the managers. They could have contacted Mara and gave her a presentation for her to come play for them. That is on them. That's not on the players. That's on them. If nobody contacts them, okay. But I'm saying, if you're trying to say, well, we're trying to balance it out. What are we trying to balance out? You can't.
Unless you legitimately sort everybody.
And it doesn't feel authentic when you're doing this. That's why I'm saying now I like what you're doing, because
you're onto something.
It gives a structure. It gives a good structure, but I would take out, you have to pick certain divisions each week. I think that handcuffs a lot of managers, but I like where you're going with it though, because it does. I don't know. It's just, I like it, but I just think that you're just not going to change that issue. I think what Christian should do is just make it 4. You could keep 4 players, and then it's a free for all after that. So if you keep 4 IG players, then that's on you. You keep 4 IG players. If you keep 4 singles players, then that's on you. If you keep 4 Star Wars players, if you keep 2 Star Wars players, a singles player and an IG player, that's on you. Keep 3 singles and an IG, that's on you. I think 3 is too 3 is too much. It's too little.
That's too little, and 5 is too much.
That's why and 5 is too much. I think 4 is the perfect number, and you could pick 4 players, and after that, we have a draft, and then you allow players in that draft to say, if you draft me, I'm not playing for you. I want to play for, because then you can do trades, and you can say, okay, I'm going to take 2 picks in this round. You're going to get this person, and
I don't know if you allow, sir.
Matt, how many people do you have per faction, hypothetically, in your scenario?
It's 10 teams of 8.
So you only draft 3 players.
You're drafting 4 players. So this is now switch. I'm on board with the Shug said. Keep it at 4. So so I'm saying you're drafting 4 players at this point.
Okay.
If you're doing 8, yeah.
If you're doing 8.
If you're doing, obviously, that's why I like 10. That's why I like the 10 factions, 10 people, because you keep 4 and then you draft 6, and so you have more options and everything. And like I said, this whole idea of I dropped my candy of people complaining about not enough people getting matches. Well, you have to win. Perfect example is Ben Goddard. Ben Goddard lost his singles match, lost his team match, and we don't know if he's going to play IG because Saul's been playing great. Sorry, buddy, you should have won your matches. This competition is not a participation competition. I'm sorry, I'm going to be that dick.
Yeah,
it's not a participation.
It's not participation.
No one's guaranteed a match in a year.
Nobody's guaranteed a match, and I think people need to understand that. And people need to understand, yes, Kevin Smith gets a match because of his fucking name. That's just how it is. Get over it. I like ASG's idea too. Idea.
What if free agents could pick among teams if they had multiple offers but couldn't choose to go into the draft?
That I think that's what completes it. Is if you get offers, you have to take one of those offers.
Okay.
That is fair. If you get offers, you have to take an offer. Because
go ahead.
Because if you're a high tier player and you know for example, we knew. Let's be honest. We all knew last year Dan Murrow was probably going to the dungeon.
Felt right.
Yeah, the predictions were dungeon or swag. Those were all the predictions. It was dungeon or swag. Mm-hmm. Ben Bateman, that was the wild card. And then you knew Kaiser was keeping Parker. But if you had it to where if you were given an offer, you had to, if you were given multiple offers, you had to take one of the offers. I think that would have been fair. You wouldn't have seen Mara Kanopik end up on the dungeon. You wouldn't have seen that. And I guess that's where I was trying to go. If you add that to what my proposal was initially, that completely helps curb everything. It allows you to control storylines. It allows you to make a stable and more evened out league. And it provides natural drama. Because now these other players, because if you get offers, okay, I'm gonna take this manager's offer. Well, oh, sorry, I decided to go with so and so. That's a storyline because now that player has something going on against that manager.
Okay. Let me take the reins on this for a second. So I see what you're trying to do. I do. I don't like that you're handcuffing managers to pick 2 singles players to become a team, this and that. I'm not a big fan of that. Because you're taking away the manager's decision to start their faction. And I like that part of the schmodown. I like the idea of Matt, I'll let you talk. Can I talk, please?
I was gonna say, remember, there are players who play in multiple divisions, though.
You're right.
That's mm-hmm. where you were thinking strictly of.
You know what? Before you talk, Chris, that is their own problem and their own fault. Because if you play multiple divisions and now you've lost matches and you want to play, now it's almost as if, well, I lost the singles and I lost the teams. Well, I want to get to play in another division. Well, you've lost. You have to wait. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. That's a curse and a blessing. You play multiple divisions, but if you're losing, then you don't get to play.
Corey Cameron, to answer your question in this scenario, that's, like I said, this is when ultimately it falls on the managers. Because the managers have to decide, well, I'm going with this person. Sorry, go take it. If you have other offers, go take it.
And that you may end up with a situation where a manager doesn't get 4 players to start. Like that's and because they didn't give out offers hoping other people would take them, but they didn't, and that's a whole different thing. But
in the world of sports, in the world of sports, this is just to retort that you always have contingencies. You always like, all right, I'm going for LeBron James. If I don't get LeBron James, I'm going to go for Rudy Gay. There's always, that's, as a manager, general manager, that's the kind of thing you have to do. I think
one thing they need, before Chris answers, I think one thing they do need to change in the draft if you're a rookie and you're drafted as a rookie, you have to stay with that faction that year and the next year.
If you're not dropped.
If you're not dropped. But if you're not dropped, if you're a rookie, not a veteran player, if you're a rookie, you have to stay with that faction for the year you were drafted and the next year. So then when the next year comes, even if you let's say Christian keeps it at, you keep it at only keeping 3, you still have to keep your rookies. So let's say you keep your 3 and then you drafted 2 rookies, so you're only going to get to draft 3 more players. This can also work for you because let's say Adam Collins is a rookie. Well, I keep Chance, Mike, and
Marisol was a rookie also. So you would have
so I get to keep them for free, and then I only get to draft 3. So it gives you more leeway if one of your rookies becomes great. You know what I'm saying?
I get where you're going with that, because there's the rookie contract in all sports. So in those contracts, you're stuck there. That's you have multiple years there unless you end up getting traded.
Okay. Now, in regards to the rookie thing, to respond to that for a second, I agree with everything you just said, Shug, with the exception of the second year. I think 1's enough. I think two's overdoing it. If you don't drop them, obviously it's your choice to drop them.
Well, yeah, but only get them for 1 year, the year that you draft
them. Some of them might not get burned.
I think, because look at the exchange. Like, they're essentially all rooks with the exception of 4 people. So
yeah, but he still had the cap on it though. So you're in that case you're gonna have to pick which rookies you let go.
Sure. Now, to Matt's thing, again, I don't like that you're categorizing the 4 picks. I see what you're trying to do. I just don't agree with it. Because if a manager wants to pick 4 singles players, 2 of them being a team and an inner geekdom, you should let them. They don't need, if they want to draft a Star Wars player, then by all means. And to acknowledge what I said earlier, of course, no one's going to dodge Star Wars. But hypothetically, if someone wanted to, they should be given the option to. Now, in my opinion, I think the Schmodown right now, as it stands, you only make certain tweaks. The amount of players, in hindsight, I remember when we were over the moon. We were over the damn moon when they extended the roster to 12. Yay, 12 people, 96 players. And then we're seeing what's going on. We don't see half the league, right? All right, cool. If you make more factions, you're spreading the wealth because you got to create room for 2 more teams. All right, great. So you take away those 2 extra players per faction. You make 2 new factions. Bang, 10 out of 10. I agree with Shug on that front. I honestly think the only change you need to make is extending how many people you keep. You keep it at 4. You extend it to 4, and you draft everybody else. With the rookies, I don't want this to be overcomplicated, and I don't want this to be this whole like if you get rookies as a caveat, you gotta keep them for X amount of time. Or if you draft this player, you gotta draft a Star Wars player and all these certain things, X, Y, and Z. The Shimoda on how it is right now, yes, people on certain factions don't get the love because they're on a certain faction. If they were on a new faction, because Matt, we had this conversation many a time on the show before the draft even happened. There should have been 10 factions to start.
Yeah,
and I was screaming from the rooftops. Let keep the Droogs and add the Shmominati as a faction. Like, I was preaching from the rooftops, praying to my God that I wanted a 10 faction.
Or at least rename the Droogs.
Or rename the Droogs, make them something else, and then add the Shmominati, because I thought storyline-wise it made sense. Mm-hmm. And to me, it still makes sense to make the Shmominati a faction with Mark Ellis as his manager. Yeah, I said it again. But adding another faction, adding more factions creates more opportunity for players. Some of those lower players who haven't played this year, or maybe who haven't gotten that second match or even their first yet. So I think the Shmonon as it is right now, yeah, you can poke holes in it. All 3 of our things, you can poke holes in all 3 of them. There's no perfect way to go about this. People are going to find a way to complain about the changes. You can make it no factions. Oh, y'all want to complain about the factions? All right, no more factions. then people are gonna be like, oh man, like now I got to root for my team of for my team of 10 players. Like I totally understand. That's why they expanded the schedule. Corey Cameron in the chat, they need to schedule more matches if they're going to keep 96 to 100 people in the league.
You may have to go a match a day. Like,
and I know
they need to schedule more matches. They would just need to figure out how they would do it.
They need more personnel. But Mark and Christian can't call every match.
Yeah. But the complaint I heard from a competitor was, the complaint I heard from a competitor was, well, you have so many players in the league. None of it's like the less players, the more we're going to see the same players. I don't want to see that. I want to see other people play that play. I don't want to see the same play. Look, if you're the best, we're going to see you all the time playing. Number one contender matches, championship matches, high profile matches.
No, it doesn't. ASG 10 would be perfect because your top two teams, your top two factions, you put them on opposite sides of the bracket, and they have buys. That's the best way to handle it.
You can make it. It's possible. You'd have to change. You have to tweak some things, but it's possible to have 10 factions. And Shug, to respond to that, I don't get me wrong. I love Ben Bateman. I don't want to see him play 3 times a month because, like what Shug said, I want to see these other folks. Why are folks like Taylor Robinson just getting matches now? Like Alonso Duralde, granted, it could be a scheduling thing, but my man hasn't played yet. And there are other. And there are a bunch of other
outside of the free for all, but there are a bunch of other factors that we have to take into consideration because it is really, really hard to make something like this when everybody in this league, with the exception of maybe Mark and Christian and a few other folks, like they have things outside of the Schmodown that I guarantee they'll prioritize over answering some movie trivia questions, and that's the hard part. The movie trivia Schmodown, like yes, it's a commitment. But there are a few people making a lot of money off this thing. Like so,
and that's fine. Like if you can't commit to it, that's fine. But give other people that can commit to it.
Right,
that's the thing.
Like I think as much as we can talk about this all night, and we can pull calls in each one of each other's things, and all the options that Grace presented in the Facebook group, we can pull calls in all of those too. But at the end of the day, like the NBA isn't perfect. Corey mentioned the NBA earlier. NBA is not perfect. The NFL isn't perfect. MLB, NHL, MLS, whatever sports league you're a fan of, none of them are perfect. And yes,
curling is perfect. Calm
right.
down.
Shuffleboard, where it's the part curling. I mean, it's Olympic, but I think with the power being in the players' hands, it's hard to avoid super teams in any situation. Unless you just fully take away the players' rights, and then it's not fun anymore. Then it's not, and then like, I think that yes, the dungeon being stacked going into the second pick in the draft doesn't help, but that's how stuff happens. That's how it happened, right? And Kaiser had himself one great draft. And that's just it's circumstance. And whether it's 8 factions, 8 players, 10 factions, 10 players, 10 factions, 8 players, it's hard to avoid super teams, and that's obviously where some things are getting confused. Corey Cameron in the chat, keep the same schedule, spread out the title matches. Instead of title matches, use that spot, give to players not in contention to build rankings. That could be cool too. But like at the same time, to counter that, that's why we have so many title matches, so we can try to balance out the points at the same time. Because if we keep title matches to like how they used to be, there won't be that many points spread around, at least the big money points. And hi, Chris Clark. We see you in the chat. What's going on,
Chris? Nice to see you, buddy.
So it's very difficult to perfect this, and it's going to take a minute to perfect it. Whenever they do perfect it, I mean, we're going to be all here for it. But at the end of the day, people are always going to complain about something.
Yes.
Like there's always going to be something to complain about. 10 factions, 8 factions, 10 players, 8 players. There's going to be something's going to bother somebody. And I'm just in the camp where the Schmodown right now does not need to make any drastic changes. Take the 2 players off each faction, build 2 more. And, you have to make it 10. Yeah, keeping 100 players is going to be rough. But at the same time, win your matches. You're not guaranteed to play. I don't know if the Schmodown guarantees 1 match or 2 matches, whatever that is. Obviously, I don't know. I don't have the connections like y'all do. But from what I'm looking at, from what I watch every week, like we can make some room for some more folks while also creating more opportunities, and while at the same time taking 2 players off of each manager's back. So now I got to worry about them and keep it to 10.
I mean, Chris, you and I kind of had this to add on to it. Something before the FCL was a thing, something we talked about was
a
minor league.
Mm-hmm.
And if those lower players really want that burn, you have the FCL. If they want to play matches and keep them, make sure they're in fighting shape. Let those lower. You're connected technically. Look at it as a 2-way contract that they have in the NBA. Let them go play an FCL match. It won't count on their official record in the Schmodown, but at least let them get their workout in. Let people get to see them. And then if you're seeing they're playing, if they have a good showing, you get they can earn a match in the MTS.
Sure. And my only thing about that is that the FCL needs to expand outside of 1 day 2 matches, because like you're gonna be inviting more people. Schmodown fan in the chat, what's up, Schmodown fan? Feels like this year's rookies got in at the exact right time. If rosters shrink, it leaves zero room for error or growth for the matter within MTS, and moving from FCL seems even harder. So like, yeah, I think this year's rookies got into the nick of time, because next year I believe things will change. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some big ass changes next year. And by big ass, I mean 2 more factions, less players.
ASG, this is exactly what Chris said. They need to expand to more than just 2 matches.
2 matches ain't going to cut it. They need, and at the same time, they need the Schmodown for all the things we're talking about. They need more personnel. Like they need more than just people. Mark and Christian can't call every match, as much as we all love it, as much as it feels like that's like the last shred of OG Schmodown
it should be like wrestling, where it's like, Chris, you're a big wrestling fan. JR and King Lawler only called pay-per-views. Mark and Christian should only call pay-per-views.
If that's the case, then awesome. You can have like, I know Brad's tied up with FCL stuff, but bring in more folks.
We've talked about it. If people in after shows can't be in the league, let them call your matches.
I am jonesing. I'm waiting for the email or the call or the DM to call a match pro bono. Don't need to pay me. Like if that's my contribution, like fine. But the thing with like, and I know they want to keep after shows away from the Schmodown, like, because obviously like certain things have
they better not. They better not, because when Spectacular happens or a New York event, I better get a press pass.
No, what he's saying is they want to keep
like from competing. Like, and I would happily. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks would love to call matches, and yes, you have to go through a whole like audition process, but it'll be better in the long run, in my opinion. Like,
well, because you can do it, Chris. We know you can do it.
Well, but me aside, anybody anyone that they think is good enough to do so.
All of us who have after shows, we all have these personalities. We all know about these players. It's not like we need to go do deep research in these players. The color commentary you would get from after show hosts hosting matches would be some of the most natural stuff, especially like, let's say 1 week you have two of us 3 do it. The next week you have 2 people from CPOV. The next week you have 2 people from Call to Action. The week after that you have 2 people from LGR.
I can't read, so I can't do it.
So you'd have me and Chris do it then.
And I don't want this to become, let the after shows be involved. I just mean like that's your easiest option right now.
Yeah, that's the easiest option. And like you said, a lot of them would do it for free too.
Right. I guarantee there are folks that are way more talented than me or than anybody, right, that are qualified to do so. Then by all means, again, you can have that audition process. Like, this is to go back to the sports thing. There like the sports and entertainment, they go hand in hand. This shit's a lot like wrestling. I know some folks can't swallow that pill, but it's a lot like wrestling. Like, obviously the outcomes aren't predetermined, but it's damn close. So you can have that play-by-play color commentary mindset. Adnan Virk is on a Raw right now. My man comes from a baseball background. So it's possible, but everything that we're saying right now involves more personnel. The Schmodown needs to grow, get more sponsors, get more money. They have a bigger payroll, more people. So if this proves anything, be a patron.
Yes.
Or support the Schmodown, let them get a sponsor. or have Skybound put more money in their pocket so they can bring more folks in. So all these things we've been talking about for the last hour can come to fruition. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Matt. It doesn't have to be Shug. It doesn't have to be anybody from an after show. It could be just folks who are good at what they do, that Mark and Christian trust with doing this. Obviously, every decision is going to go through Mark, Christian, and Grace. And after that, then we can revisit this 10 faction conversation, or the 8 faction, or however the hell they're going to do it. Changes are coming to the Schmodown, and I think we all need to brace for it, for better or for worse. And Corey, before I get off my soapbox, to answer your question, do you think they let too many rookies in this year? No. It's just that
because most of them have proved they belong. Let's be honest.
It's circumstance. The rookies are good. They're good. Like, look at all the rookies we've seen this year. We talked about a lot of them over the course of this show. Goal leader, Marie Wilson, Zach Burkett, Thomas Harper. We talk about Peggy Gubbins all the time. Paige Rabetti, Rager, Frankie Alvarez, Brother Lomas. Yeah, Lomas. Like, these, not all the rookies have W's, but damn, we're talking about them. And as far as I'm concerned, any type of reaction is a good reaction, whether it's bad or good. You're getting talked about. So did it let too many rookies in? No.
There's no such thing as bad press.
Right. Now, let's see how many of these rookies we're still talking about come January. That's the question. And we'll revisit that when the time comes.
Like Radish and Gubbins have a leg up on everyone right now because they've had 2 matches.
Right. And Harper. And Harper.
And all 3 of them have proved they belong here.
Right. So I mean, even like Whiteley, not to diss Whiteley either. Like, the folks that got 2 matches so soon, they proved why they're here. And they may not have 2-0 records, but damn, they were good enough to get a second match, so soon in the season. Some folks hadn't even gotten playing time. Shmodown fan, what's 16 go if it's cut to 80 vets, rookies? If they do 10 teams of 8?
Yeah.
That's a conversation.
8 teams of 10, or 8 teams of 10 each.
Or 8 teams of 10. That's a conversation we can have in a different day if we cut 18. Because
they're just. I think honestly it's a mixture, because there may be certain rookies that
outperform vets.
Yeah. But there might be certain rookies managers are like, oh, well, they aren't what I thought they were going to be, and
right.
I'm sorry, it's time to go. And there might be some fringe veteran players out there that it's like, you've been on the bottom of my roster for a couple of years now. I'm sorry. I'm just
just because you're a rookie doesn't make you the first to go.
Right.
So to answer your question, Schmodown fan, but changes are coming. I think we should prepare for them as a group. We call it cutting the fat. And then but at the end of the day, changes are coming. We should swallow that pill now, since it's May. Obviously nothing will change this season because it'll be drastically unfair, especially in regards to the points. I didn't even want to touch on the point stuff with you, Matt, because that's a whole different discussion.
Peggy, we want you to stay. So
Peggy, you're gonna stay. Even if you want to leave, we're not gonna let you.
Exactly.
So that's a whole different conversation in regards to the points and how the points should be done. I do think the points are getting a little out of hand, but at the same time, the dungeon has good players. They're getting good matches.
Like, here's my thing. Even if you just take away one point, that makes a difference, because they've got the Molly,
Molly.
Excuse me. They have the Mara match, which that was an extra point. They had the Dan Merle title match. That's
Mara's about to play again on Friday.
And if she wins, that's 8 points. So I would say,
but also too, they had opportunities to lose. But Chandra could have beat Mara. Adam could have beat Dan. You can't sit there and punish people.
No,
you can't punish the dungeon for being good.
I'm not talking about punish. I'm just saying, take 1 point off of each. Take 1 point off the defense. The defense is 7. The title win is 6. The number one contender, instead of being,
I think what Shook's trying to say is that we're not having this conversation if the dungeon has so much of a lead and they're not winning their matches.
Well, honestly, I still would, because you look at a team like the Mercs. No offense, Jesse, they've won 4 matches and they're in the top 3 just because of 2 specific matches.
Yeah, but that's the
but they earned those. They earned those matches, though.
Mm-hmm. Right, and Koi, when Koi picked up Demalanta. It's it goes back to the whole strategy thing. So I see your point about lowering the amount of points per matches, but at the same time, there still be some type of disparity because of how good some factions are doing.
There will still be disparity, but for example, so the dungeon has 36 points right now. So the Dan win and the Mara win brings them down to 34. That's an 11-point lead rather than a 13-point lead. Like, if you just subtract 1 point from title wins, defenses, because then I think you buy that equal balance, because it doesn't feel like it's getting completely run away with at that point.
Sure. No, and I agree with you. I believe that if
ASG, I disagree for the fact of you have to have at least the first couple rookies' first couple matches. You do have to have rookie on rookie to see how they stack up against each other. You want to get an idea of how the rookie class is gonna perform.
ASG, to your point, I don't want to see Radis play another rookie. I'll tell you that.
Right, I'm fine with him not playing another rookie now. He's played 2.
Right, same thing for Peggy. I think Peggy's more than capable of not playing another rookie.
Peggy's earned not playing a rookie. So, but my point is, a rookie's first 2 matches, if it allows, should be against 2 rookies.
Sure. But yeah, the points thing, again, we can go on the points thing for another hour. Yeah. But in conclusion, changes are coming, folks. It's coming. What kind of change? Who the hell knows? It might be an amalgamation of the 3 things we
ASG disagree there, because that's punishing someone for being a rookie.
Then they shouldn't be for the same faction. Yeah, again, I don't.
A match is a match. A match is a match.
Right. And I
maybe
see
we should start doing another show just talking about, instead of matches, just talking random things about the showdown, like points. And
we can do like root of the question, where instead of talking about questions, we talk about the rules. We go rule by rule. Like, it's a limited series on Watt Real Entertainment.
We should call it People of Color Nitpicking. There we go.
There's another name you can go with that, but I ain't gonna go there.
No, we're not. With that being said, I think it's a great way to end our show for today.
That's right. Make that thumbnail right now.
Hell no. Thank you so much to everyone that's hanging out with us.
Here we go again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
One more time. Yes,
Corey. Look at Corey. I love that show.
Corey.
Let's go, Corey.
Corey. Well, the second we get you for that Ghost Watch along, we'll talk about nitpicking.
This is Suge right now.
No.
He's about to get his soul sucked.
No, Jesus.
Yes.
Streamlabs up at the top.
Soul sucked.
Streamlabs.com/whoaretheypodcast. It supports the whole channel, not just the show. You have a lot of other fun programming here. On Thursday, I have Really Scared, hosted by the Ragents for Rick Radis, Taylor Cleek, and Connor Breedlove. Our homie Connie Real Scared. They both do Really Scared every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Real Talks, Wrestle Reels are on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. We will not be live this week because someone will be out of town. So
You're always out of town. Where the hell do you go?
I'm going to
Cleveland or Indiana. That's basically it.
When are you coming to Cali?
The second you invite me, Shug.
You're invited. There's a couch right there, homie.
I told you when there's the outdoor event, I'm going to go. And we're going to.
We're about to eat so many tacos. We're about to eat so many tacos.
So we will be.
Oh, we about. We might even go to Mexico. We might even go to Mexico and come back.
My lord. We do really Wrestle Real 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. It will be pre-recorded this week. We apologize ahead of time. Thank you so much, Corey, for hanging out. We got to get you for Ghost. I haven't forgotten about that, Corey. Real Talk Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, where our folks from Watts, whether it's Matt, Nick, one of them, both of them, other folks, occasionally I pop on from time to time, talk to industry professionals, actors, producers, directors, writers, talk about what they do in film and how they go about it and their mythology or their ideology with film.
Thanks,
Dagan. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, Real Talk. Yep. And of course, you have Spin from the Real, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And we have a bunch of other programming here. Follow us on Twitter, all of us down at the bottom. WattMovies_Matt, C. Anthony Lopez, Shug9323, and Spin from the Real. We're so close to 100.
I'm gonna check and see if we hit that 100 because we were at 99 when I put out that tweet earlier.
If you have not followed Spin from the Real on Twitter, please do so. We're so close to 100. and we're about to check right now if we're at 100. But in the meantime, again, Streamlabs, Who Are They podcast. You support
Still
the whole
stuck at
family.
99. Still stuck at 99.
JD, follow us on Twitter. We want to get to 100 before next week's show. So, is there anything else we missed? This is a really fun show, guys.
Well,
No, we didn't get to see the Star Wars match today. It'll probably be out tomorrow or later tonight, but I'll watch it tomorrow. Make sure, like Chris said, follow all of us on Twitter. Make sure to follow on Twitch also, because
I'll do one last check for StreamYard. Okay, got all of them for today.
I think I'm gonna try to get Matt's permission and start streaming on Twitch. To go on there and play video games and
That's some real stuff.
I do my own Twitch, but I want to try to get Watt's Twitch up.
Taylor Clegg has been streaming on Twitch. He's been playing Resident Evil Village. It's a lot of fun to see him play that.
Yeah, I watched him play. It was pretty fun. He's a great guy. Make sure to check out his horror show. I love that show.
Yes, really
make sure to try to watch it. Wrestle Real. I come in there and mess with Chris. Asked him some questions. There was some good wrestling topics going on.
We chat wrestling. Bro.
Yeah, you guys are not live this week because as I say, what do you guys?
No, we will not be live this week.
The Uso brothers returning and
with Jimmy coming back, and I know Nick and we're probably going to talk WrestleMania Backlash, but again, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, and for the latest in my hair reveals, you can go to Wrestle Real because my hair will be different come next week's show. I can tell you that right now. So like this will be different. Like I got this now, but it'll be different.
Play.
Next, right? It'll be different on Monday. It'll look 100% different. I'll tell you that right now.
That's all right. Let's go. Matt.
With that being said, remember, folks, spin from the reel, not the peg. Have a good night.